Chapter 41 with Izumi Sagiri's book. No wonder an Izumi Sagiri will become a best-selling manga artist, and his fame once surpassed that of the industry veterans. He is really talented. This storyboard, this light perception. This is too top. It is estimated that she can make good works when she becomes a director. Teacher Amanroa, Master Group Leader, how do you feel? If you like it, I have a lot of ow here. I'll tell you a little secret secretly. Sister Butterfly Ninja shared a few photos with me. It's super cool. Soon, the private chat message with Izumi Sagiri arrived. This girl is eccentric and doesn't know what she's thinking, but she was right about one thing. The last sentence broke LSP's defense. Cough cough. This is a serious group chat. Don't keep doing these rude. Speak up. If you have any requirements, I will try my best to satisfy you. Baisu originally wanted to speak hard, but now he suddenly discovered the bright spot with Izumi Sagiri. With this girl in the group, doesn't it mean that he has a new workbook to read every day? And you can also customize the heroine. Well, satisfying the master of the group is what I should do. But what about the battlefield tasks in the future? Can the master of the group take me with you? They are just a book painter and have no fighting ability. With Izumi Sagiri wearing a fan's dress, no one knows why this girl is so cute when she doesn't go out every day. Okay, it's not difficult to do. When you encounter simpler battlefield tasks in the future, I will take you to play Dachan Oil. As long as you participate in the battlefield tasks, you will get points even if you don't contribute, and in the malfunction after opening, the points will buy a lot of magical items, and your future will be full of surprises. Quote. Baisu thought about it for a while. It is true that difficult tasks like the war on the top are not suitable for ordinary members, but in the future, they will not receive simple tasks. If they train new people a little, maybe they will become strong for their own use. Okay, that's it. I'll be the first to contact you when the new book is released, the group owner. Rolling happily on the bed with Izumi Sagiri, I didn't expect that. I bet right. The group owner is not an old-fashioned person, and has a strong ability to accept things of the new era. Butterfly house owner, what do you mean by LSP? By the way, Sagiri, can you show me your work? It just happens that I have no assignments recently, so it's my break time. Teacher Emmanuel, LSP is a unique catchphrase in our world. It means happiness. It's great that you have time, I'll send you a copy. And Izumi Sagiri is still smart enough, she won't sell the group owner. As for the works for Butterfly Ninja when she first entered the comics world, the content is the normal type of youth love, and it's a little bit different from the work. Neither side. Butterfly house owner, thank you. My sister and I used to like to read books with illustrations, but we haven't read them since we joined the Ghost Slayer. Ding! The group chat activity meets the requirements, and the Yuhi package function is enabled. The function of Yuhi bag is not limited to weapon exercises, etc. Group members can use this function to achieve cross-dimensional transportation of items. It is a free function and is limited to 3 times a day. At this time, a system message appeared on the public screen, attracting the attention of the group members, and Izumi Sagiri sent a package of youth love comics to Butterfly Shinobi with an attitude of giving it a try. Unexpectedly, the other party received it soon. It is indeed a very useful function. Teacher Emantroa, Whitebeard went to find Ace's whereabouts, Tony was silenced, and there are 2 less people in the group. I feel a lot of deserted. Baisu, if I guess right, that kid Tony should be working in a cave now. Come on. You can become the world's richest man when you come out. With the body of a mortal, you can stand shoulder to shoulder with gods. A man who was forging iron in a certain cave happened to see this group chat and almost vomited 3 liters of blood. Group leader, your uncle. When I get out of this ghost place, I must make you look good. Tony Stark complained in his heart as he struck iron. Under the intimidation of terrorists, he had to agree to their request to build weapons, but it was not a missile. On the table next to him is a sketch of a slightly bulky mecha, but relying on this steel body, they have a great chance of escaping the tiger's mouth, which is also Tony's transformation from a high-class playboy to the Iron Man process. Butterfly house owner. Hey, when did the group owner come? Shouldn't you be watching the screen all the time? Last time you said you knew the past and future of all our group members, so. Can you tell me about my future? This sentence has been in Butterfly's heart for a long time. She is driven by hatred to stay in the ghost-killing team, and she searches for the first quarter moon day after day. Those are the 12 ghosts that are closest to the Ghost King without misery. With the blood bestowed by Wu Mian himself, the blood ghost technique is extremely powerful. But at the same time, she also understands her own strength. Even in the Jinchuriki column of the ghost-killing team, she is still at the bottom. Even if she finds the ghost who killed her parents and sister, can she really beat the other party? There is no answer. She has already embarked on this road of no return. Once her faith is shaken, she will have nothing. Bai Su, your future. In fact, you have already predicted it yourself. The final decisive moment is the moment of your death. Butterfly Ninja had a very tragic ending. Unlike Whitebeard, she used herself as a weapon and started injecting poison into her body a year before the final battle, because the second ghost who killed her sister, tongue grinding, I like to eat beautiful women the most. So her death was premeditated, and the initiator was herself. Butterfly house owner, is this my home? I'm a little unwilling. Bai Su, the future is not unchangeable. As long as the desire is strong to a certain extent, it will definitely come true. I will put my life on this battlefield mission to change Whitebeard's ending. Please watch the battle together. Everyone has their own destiny, and the power of the system is that it brings them together and gives everyone the opportunity to change their destiny. The old man is a remnant of the times, and the new era cannot accommodate my boat. The words that Whitebeard said in the memory copy are still echoing in the minds of the group members. How tragic and tragic. With the ability to shake the fruit, he punched out of the abyss with one punch, fighting for a way for the crew to survive, and he faced the entire Marine headquarters and Shichibukai alone, and finally suffered 267 stab wounds, 152 bullets, and 46 shells. Even if his vitality disappeared, he still maintained the attitude of destroying the enemy. Throughout his pirate career, there was no scar on his back due to escape. In the world of pirates, Marine pursues absolute justice, while pirates pursue freedom and dreams. Whitebeard gave everything for his dreams. It would be great if he could change the outcome of the war. Chapter 42 Fallen Obito. Pirate World. The Whitebeard pirates' ships didn't travel too far, as news about Ace made the front pages and was spread around the world by Marine. Ace finally lost to Blackbeard Teach and was sent to Marine headquarters to wear seastone handcuffs. He was the posthumous son of One Piece King of Pirates Gul D. Roger. Marine wanted to broadcast his execution in front of the world. It is a heavy blow to the reputation of pirates. Marine's intentions are more than that simple. They want to lure Whitebeard to take the bait, kill the Emperor, and fulfill Marine's absolute justice. How long until the execution time? Whitebeard has been a pirate for so many years. For the first time, he has sensed the power of destiny. Everything in the world has a fixed trajectory. As long as he wants to rescue Ace, both of them will die at the Marine headquarters. Marine will recall all the King's Shichibukai, gathered their strength several times, just waiting for them to throw themselves into the net. With his wisdom and experience, he can't think of such a way to solve this difficulty. He is one of the 4 emperors, and he is already the world's top combat power. Do you expect others to rescue him? There is no harmony between the 4 emperors. Once they go to rescue Ace, Kaido will come to occupy their central site. In the plot, Yuhi sends Shanks to help Whitebeard secretly, but because Kaido delays his schedule, he can't make it in time. Turn up. Rescue Ace was originally the family business of the Whitebeard pirates, and no one could interfere. Even if Whitebeard disregarded the rules and went to Yuhi to ask for help, other unexpected situations would still occur, which would eventually lead to the same result. This is fate. It's less than a month away, replied Marco, captain of the first team. Nicknamed Phoenix, He is the first team captain and ship doctor of the Whitebeard Pirates, known as Whitebeard's right-hand man. Zone, mythical, bird fruit phoenix form ability, has super regeneration ability, 30 been following Whitebeard many years ago. He understands Father Whitebeard's thoughts, but even if he faces the entire Marine headquarters, he will not have the slightest fear. Whitebeard, you can't be so reckless, you need to ask someone to help, otherwise you will not only be unable to save Ace, but also drag you down. Anyone, will you help us? Marco was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect Whitebeard to say such a thing. Their enemy this time was the entire Marine headquarters plus Shichibukai, who dared to stand up. There will be, from very far away. Whitebeard looked up at the blue sky. There are too many secrets in this world that he doesn't know. If the group owner is really willing to participate in this war, then the chances of Ace surviving will be greatly increased. Hokage World, Konoha. What did you say? Make me give up competing for 4 generations of Hokage. Kushina, that's my lifelong dream. Namikaze Minato looked at Shanwi's wife, a trace of anger flashed in his eyes. Is this the same Uzumaki Kushina he knew? He has been determined to become a Hokage since he was a child, and strives for the happiness of the village all his life. How can he shrink back when his dream is about to come true? The world has a method that destroys people the most, called slaughter. In order to quickly increase the prestige of Minato, the 3 generations of Hokage praised him as the savior of the world, but his own strength is still a long way from the savior. Well, is the life of fighting and killing really good? Our child is about to be born. I don't think we have to be the 4th generation of Hokage. Minato, isn't that bad? Uzumaki Kushina smiled tenderly and put her jade hand on her husband's shoulder. In fact, she was a hard worker who lost her country since she was a child. After coming to Konoha, she was trained as a weapon and became a container of Kyubi, 9 tails. Almost everyone looked at themselves differently, and that time was unexpectedly difficult. If she hadn't met Namikaze Minato, she wouldn't even know if she would have a chance to be a normal person, and now that she finally has a peaceful life, she doesn't want to step into the center of Uzumaki anymore. Kushina, only this request: I can't agree to you. I will not be a coward who will retreat after having a family. Where the leaves are flying, the fire will never stop. I will turn into a firelight to illuminate the future of the village. I will definitely be on Hokage. Quote. Sorry. The newlyweds rarely quarrel, but this time Namikaze Minato didn't back down in the slightest. His tone was heavy, and he left the house after speaking. As a ninja who demands himself based on Hokage standards, he will never allow family love to become a poison that corrupts him and makes him cowardly. The will of fire. This guy, Minato, is just like a child, really a little kid. Uzumaki Kushina looked at her husband who ran away in a fit of anger. A hint of helplessness flashed on her face. Minato had never experienced that kind of despair and did not understand the darkness of the world, but what she admired was Minato's dazzling light like the sun. She felt that Minato was unique. He's a genius, he's gotten to this point without relying on blood-stained boundaries, but now is not the time to go head-to-head with Uchiha. She turned back to the kitchen to prepare the meal. Minato would be back. She never doubted Minato's love for her. After Uzumaki Kushina left, a man wearing a Uzumaki-shaped mask walked out of the space-time passage, and Tomo in the bloody Yuhi-colored eyes connected together, exuding a kind of nightmare pupil power. Miss Minato, why can you still live a happy life after Rin's death? Do you remember your student who died tragically? If you lost your wife, would you still have the fighting spirit like you do now? Uchiha Obito often uses his ability to return to Konoha to peep secretly, because this land is where his lover is buried, but Konoha has no place for him, and he wanders around like a lonely ghost. Uchiha Madara reminded himself more than once that the female Jinchuriki column force will be at its lowest point in the control of the tailed beast during childbirth, and with his pupil force, he can easily control Kyubi, 9 tails, to bring trouble to Konoha. After losing his lover, Obito was desperate for this world. At that time, Rin's death had something to do with Namikaze Minato, because Minato was distracted from other battlefields and didn't arrive at the agreed time. Their team was attacked by Jonin, while Rin was made into a tailed beast weapon and had to go down the road of self-destruction. In order to mess up the world as soon as possible, he has his eye on the Kyuubi, Nine-Tails people of Konoha, the Jinchuriki Column Force, Uzumaki Kushina, and he decides to wait until the day Kushina is produced. You must know that Namikaze Minato is his mentor. He will do anything to achieve his goals. Today's Obito has lost his basic emotions as a human being. P.S. Thank you for the 5 monthly tickets that you gave to Zahan KH yesterday. Chapter 43 give you a chance to save the world. The strongest man in the world. Master, I have received the news that Ace is about to be executed. It seems that the future is going according to your speculation. There are only 20 days left until the final battle, and I, Whitebeard, are willing to join your adventure team. Only hope that you can turn the fate of this world. After Whitebeard disappeared for several days, he suddenly started to bubble in the group, and he put his hope on Baisu. As one of the 4 emperors of the New World, he was recognized as the strongest man in the world, after Roger's death. 38 years ago, he was a member of the Rocks Pirates, which were destroyed by Roger and Garp in the Battle of the Valley of the Gods. Later, he formed his own pirate group, and together with Roger and Shiki, he was called the 3 Legendary Pirates. In fact, he is not interested in being One Piece, King of Pirates, he just wants a family at sea. The crew calls him Dad. This time he wants to rescue his son and make the family whole again. Baisu, saving Ace is also my wish. This is the first battlefield mission after the adventure team starts. I will do my best, but currently there are only 2 of us in the adventure team. We still need to find more powerful partners. Just do it. Butterfly House Owner. Unfortunately, I may not be able to help you much. My poison only has an effect on ghosts. The characters that appear in the war are too powerful. And Izumi Sagiri, well, I'm actually just a manga artist. She is shy by nature, extremely afraid of life, and is afraid of face-to-face contact with outsiders. She usually likes to wear a mask of an anime character, put on a hat with a hooded jacket, use a voice changer to change her voice, and then talk to people through the internet. Although she can chat smoothly during the online broadcast, when talking face-to-face, Sagiri stutters when she speaks, needs to interrupt her breath, and is very speech-free. The voice is so low that if the mic is not equipped, the voice will be too low to have a normal conversation. Baisu, Jay Shaolun, stop peeking at the screen. If you were given a chance to save the world, what would you choose? At this year Chasing 10 School Beauties. Chasing 10 School Beauties this year. Saving the world is something I can't do as an ordinary college student. Please let me go. Jay Shaolun was so frightened by the photo posted by Butterfly Ninja that he didn't dare to bubble in the group for a long time. Now Baisu suddenly brought up the topic of saving the world. He must be trying to fool himself into participating in the top war. Just kidding. Whitebeard punched down, and the whole sky split open. Sengoku could destroy an island with one blow. Did he deliver vegetables? Although he saw that the rewards of the battlefield mission are very rich, he still feels that his life is important. After all, the world he lives in is quite normal except for the big chrysanthemum in the sky, which is better than the world in which the people in the chat group live. A lot of. Baisu, what a pity. You don't know how to take advantage of such a great opportunity before you. You must know that this world is decided by the strong. I can help you awaken the power of the Silver River and achieve an immortal divine body. Don't talk about 10 school beauties, what is 100 school beauties? Chasing 10 school beauties this year. Don't say it, Master Group. Protecting world peace is the duty of every citizen. You can just tell me what to do. Just say it first. I'm not for any school beauties. I do it. I made this choice because of the justice and kindness in my heart. Quote. Butterfly House Owner. And Izumi Sagiri. The strongest man in the world. This person's face changed too quickly, and he didn't have any precautions at all. Wasn't he afraid of death at first? How can I make a 180-degree turn when I mention the school beauties? I have seen your future, the sword that cuts through fear, the power of the Silver River. You will go to the bar near the university town tonight, and if you encounter a hooligan, go to justice, there will be a chance. Baisu has begun to come up with bad ideas. Jie Shaolun is the third generation of gods and one of the three major god-building projects of the Super Seminary. Of course, if you want to awaken the super gene, you need to experience a little setback. Chasing 10 school beauties this year, okay. The fight against hooligans is all on my shoulders. Baisu, at present, there are 3 tentative candidates for the adventure team. Butterfly Ninja and Sagiri observe and learn. As for Tony continuing to work in the cave, people can only grow after experiencing some setbacks. In the Marvel world, a screen-peeping person was severely beaten, and his iron hand trembled, almost knocking on his own. Hokage world, Konoha. Look, that's Uchiha Shirasu. It is said that he killed 3 generations of Raikage and an army of 10,000 Iwagakure with only one person's strength, and turned the tide of the ninja war. Yeah, compared with him, Namikaze Minato is nothing, the Yellow Flash is just a new name, Uchiha is a 1,000-year-old family. Really, I know him. He helped my grandma find the lost kitten some time ago. He is a very caring person. On the streets of Konoha, people saw a busy figure talking about it. This is the power of propaganda. Baisu's popularity has grown at a rocket-like rate, and it has a tendency to overshadow Namikaze Minato. During this time, Baisu has done thousands of low-level quests and helped many people in Konoha, which has changed everyone's view of Uchiha. In the past, they were more in awe of the power of the Uchiha family, but now they sincerely feel that Uchiha is a Konoha. The guards are very kind. Great Fireball Jutsu is the basic ninjutsu of Kaden. Fire style gathers chakra behind the throat, and spits a huge fireball forward from the mouth, which can blast the enemy into the air. The hand seal style is Si, Wei, Shinhai, Wu, Yin. Pay attention to the ratio of chakra. Ninjutsu tests everyone's ability to control chakra. Let's try it. Baisu is now the king of children, surrounded by a group of students from the ninja school. He is very famous. He came to do the task and was entangled, begging him to teach ninjutsu. Kaden, fire style. Great fireball jutsu. At this time, a little boy with a hand seal in a dignified manner, unexpectedly spewed a fireball with a diameter of half a meter from his mouth, and became a star in the eyes of his classmates, chatting and asking him the tricks of hand seal. Ding! The host taught a student to use C-level ninjutsu and obtained the achievement, Apprentice Ninjutsu Teacher. Ding! When the achievement reaches 400 points, the enlightenment function is activated. This function is also open to members of the adventure team. Each use requires 1,000 points, and the host has 3 opportunities to use it for free every month. Chapter 44 Rinnegan. Enlightenment function. Finally unlocked. The liver achievement is too troublesome, and I don't know why the system has such a hellish setting. At present, he is in urgent need of ways to improve his strength, otherwise he would not be so desperate to brush tasks. With the gradual unlocking of system functions, the value of points is highlighted. Every time the enlightenment function is activated, 1,000 points are required, and the price is too expensive. He has spent so long on the achievement task, and the points have just exceeded 1,000. If there are 3 free use opportunities per month, he estimates that he would have to think carefully about whether to spend the points on enlightenment. What effect does the Tao enlightenment function have? It doesn't even have an explanation, and the system is too lazy. Ding! The enlightenment function is activated. During the enlightenment process, the host will enter a deep sleep state. The enlightenment time is randomly from 1 to 12 hours, and the time ratio is adjusted to 1,000. Baisu returned home directly and activated the access to the Tao enlightenment function. The scene in front of him suddenly changed. He entered a mysterious world, hiding the secrets of the universe. He had a long dream, dreaming that he was immersed in sea water and scorched by fire. He dreamed that he raised his hand to call for thunder and destroy the universe. When he woke up, he found that 12 hours had passed and the sun had already risen. This was the most lazy day since his rebirth. That's the end of enlightenment. What's the effect? A good dream. Baisu was stunned for a long time, and he didn't have any strange feeling at all. According to the truth, isn't the meaning of enlightenment equal to soaring in the daytime? Why can't you fly? Huh. He took a step subconsciously, but he didn't expect to actually step in the void. His feet were 3 feet off the ground, and a strange force lifted his body up, and he had reached a whole new level for the master of the surrounding space. These eyes. I read that right. Rinnegan. He looked at himself clearly through the mirror. The original Mangekyo Sharingan turned into a Rinnegan with Uzumaki-like lines. This is the most sublime pupil power known as the eye that controls life and death. It originated from the research of the chakra fruit of the divine tree. Extreme pupil technique. The owner of Rinnegan controls yin and yang, has at least 6 changes in the nature of chakra, and has extraordinary abilities. It can be either the god of creation with the ability to create the world, or the god of destruction with the ability to destroy the world. At the same time, Rinnegan is also the only one away to defend and crack infinite Tsukuyomi. Isn't the Mokudan wood style cell a necessary condition for awakening Rinnegan? Could it be that this is the horror of the enlightenment function? Although there is no day-to-day ascension, the effect of ascension is too terrifying. Baisu was speechless. He opened the attribute panel and found that his combat power had increased a lot. Without opening Susanoo, the spell damage increased by 1000. The magic value has nearly doubled to 3900. At this moment, the system prompt rang. Ding! Congratulations to the host for acquiring new skills. Almighty Push. The technique of bouncing objects within a certain range can resist ninjutsu and fighting technique attacks. Generally, the time interval is 5 seconds, and the cooling time increases with the increase of power and range. Universal Pull. One of Rinnegan's abilities, contrary to Almighty Push, is to forcefully attract a specified object within a certain range, and it can also manipulate the movement position of the affected object at will, and the controlled object cannot resist. Rinnegan Coercion. Releases a 360 degrees blade-shaped shock wave around itself, which can easily cut through the sacred tree and the earth. 6 Paths Planetary Devastation. Those with yin and yang powers can only activate if they touch the seal object. A gravitational source is generated in space, attracting the sealed object and a part of the earth together, making the sealed object lose its power and keep rising. After it is far away from the earth, it will attract the meteorites of the universe to continue to grow until a certain scale, about 1/49th of the volume of the earth, will stop after that. Sealing. It can absorb any ninjutsu and convert it into chakra and store it in the body, providing itself with chakra, and can also counterattack the absorbed ninjutsu. Complete Susanoo. The true form of Susanoo requires training its pupil strength to ultimate and having a huge amount of chakra before it can be used. Its size surpasses the mountain peak, showing the posture of the god of war, and its combat power is enough to match the tailed beast. Wings transformed from the armor on its back and equipped with double swords allow it to soar in the sky. The full-body Susanoo can use the ninjutsu that the caster is good at, and its long sword can easily split mountains and meteorites. Back in time. Further develop the law of time, use a lot of magic power to adjust all the surrounding targets back to any instant within a minute, and the influence range is 500 meters. I'll be darling, this is like a shotgun for a cannon. This system is too mysterious, and if I develop it in the future, I can really get what I want. But the chance of prostitution can fill up the time for enlightenment, and I should also be considered the Emperor of Europe. Now, Baisu's current strength has properly reached the level of comparison, and 3000 spell damage can almost kill cage-level powerhouses. 2 Invincible, no opponent. Unless the 6 Paths Immortal in the world of Hokage is resurrected, he will not even be able to find a target for training. Uzumaki Nagato is just a chess piece, and it is not advisable to drain his life force by forcibly pushing Rinnegan. Uchiha Obito, forget it. What is Mangekyo Sharingan? If you use too many skills that will cause blindness, unless you can obtain the eyes of your loved ones, only the further Rinnegan is eternal. At present, only when Uchiha Madara is resurrected, or when Otsutsuki Kagaya is unsealed, can he wrestle with himself. Now he looks in the direction of the moon, and he can vaguely see a huge white rabbit, which is the body of Otsutsuki Kagaya. Forget it, wait until the battlefield mission to practice. The current Konoha can't stand the toss. Baisu gave up the crazy decision to unseal Otsutsuki, and now his strength is very close to completing the main quest, the big boss of the ninja world. After all, this is a world where the strong are respected. Originally, this world was controlled by the goddess Otsutsuki Kagaya, but her two sons rebelled against her brutal rule and sealed her on the moon. After her two sons died one after another, the ninja world opened the prelude to the 1,000-year melee. Look at the big guys in the water group. After the strength is improved this time, maybe you can bring some more group members to the battlefield to experience it. Baisu just opened the group chat, and when he saw a message, his eyes went black, making Kiba itchy. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods. Group leader, you old bastard, get out of here. Do you know how tiring it is to strike iron? Chapter 45 Jay Shaolun. If you have time, come to the bureau to get me. And Izumi Sagiri. Wow. Tony is finally out of confinement. We're relieved to see you so energetic. Butterfly house owner. Tony's little cutie is back, and finally saw someone dare to attack the group owner and moved to a small bench to watch the play. And Izumi Sagiri. Moving a small bench to watch a movie +1. The strongest man in the world. Jiu la la la. Tony, I appreciate your courage. If you were in the pirate world, you could be my son. But I'm curious, why do you say that the group leader is an old bastard? Is he very old? Who wants to be your son? I am 49 years old this year, okay. If it weren't for being the richest man in the world, there would be too many beauties to take care of, and now there are grandchildren. But Tony didn't want to bother with Whitebeard for the time being. He spat out the sand in his mouth and continued to output. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods, does this need to be said? Generally speaking, astrologers are old Whitebeards. Since the group leader likes to tease people, I estimate that he is at least 100 years old, and his face is full of wrinkles. Ding! With the body of a mortal, he was banned from speaking for 10 minutes on par with gods. Baisu, give you a moment to reorganize the language. Ding! With the body of a mortal, he was lifted from the ban on par with the gods. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods, authority dog. No, I was wrong, lord of the group, I really can't afford it, I am in the desert, please tell me what to do next. Tony had just escaped from the terrorists' hands. Due to his fall from a high altitude, his newly made steel battle suit had already been scrapped. Now he is still struggling in the desert, tired and hungry, and he has to eat sand if he accidentally falls. Ow! After a period of transformation, you really matured a lot. This is your future. Make your own decision after reading it. A smile flashed across Baisu's mouth. After experiencing this kidnapping, Tony Stark gradually understood the true meaning of life, and transformed from a playboy to a beloved Iron Man. Ding! Baisu uploaded a copy of his memory, Iron Man. Please pay attention to check. With the body of a mortal, the gods have accepted your copy. The Butterfly House Master has accepted your copy. And Izumi Sagiri, I will use this name in the future, that one is too hard to remember. Accepted your copy. ... In fact, Tony Stark has gone through nearly half of the plot. The first half is about his transformation process, which is very important to his Iron Man career. As a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods. God damn it, I really didn't think my family would betray me. Is money so important? I just don't want to sell arms to Eagle Nation. Tony Stark saw the ending, his heart was almost ashes. His parents died very early. Although he had billions of wealth and reached the top of the world, he was actually very lonely in his heart. It also caused him to trust the bald headstrong very much, and as a result, the bastard sold himself directly to terrorists. The strongest man in the world. It's a wonderful world. Intrigue, your experience is no less than that of any pirate, but what surprises me is that your world has so many lands, and you don't want us to drift on the sea all your life. Butterfly house owner. Tony doesn't have to be sad. Although your partner betrayed you, you have also gained the best partner. That little pepper has a really good character. And Izumi Sagiri, pack yourself up and deal with your enemies. We have all of us backing you up. ... After the encouragement of the group members, Tony Stark was finally liberated from his heavy state of mind. Who is he? He's going to be Iron Man. As a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods, thank you. Although I came to this group unexpectedly, it was my luck to meet you. I felt family-like warmth. I went to deal with my own affairs. Goodbye. He heard the sound of the engine of the plane and knew that he had been saved. Next, he needed to rest and go all out to deal with his enemies. By the way, what about Jay Shalun's fellow? Why don't you see him in the water group? Normally, he should be skipping class now, right? Bai Su suddenly remembered that yesterday he fooled Jay Shalun to go to the bar, and he didn't know what happened. If it went well, maybe he would have awakened his super gene by now. Chasing 10 school beauties this year. Boss, I've been watching the screen. Tony's business has been dealt with. I wonder if you have time to catch me. I'm in the game. Bai Su. Huh. And Izumi Sagiri. PFF'd. Ha ha ha. Sorry, couldn't hold back. ... Super God World. 12 hours ago, inspired by Bai Su, Jay Shalun left the school gate that night and began to perform tasks at the entrance of the bar. It's not a joke, he's serious. That's a chance for 100 school beauties. It takes nearly 2 years to replace one a week. The sword that cuts through fear, the power of the Silver River. He actually doesn't understand what these words mean, but the master of the group said that after awakening, he can catch up with the school flower, and that's enough. There is indeed a bar street near the university town of Juxia City. There are many gangsters who often linger here, because there are really girls here, and it is said that there are people who stage reality shows in the toilet. Rumor has it that it's a bit chaotic here, and it's the first time he's been here since college. Ah, help, what are you doing? At this moment, a scream came from the dark alley. Jay Shalun's eyesight was good, and he happened to see a girl with a good figure being dragged in by several men. Help, you're a hooligan. The woman's desperate resistance was useless. With the sound of stab, her shirt was shredded directly, and a pair of huge objects jumped out, dazzling and eye-catching. Hey, what do you know? What my brother is playing is not a hooligan, but a loneliness. A wretched and domineering voice sounded. The leader of these little gangsters was named Lu Chuang, with a small thorn on his head, a large gold chain around his neck, dark skin and a ferocious expression. Provoke. Damn it. In broad daylight. No, you can't rob a civilian girl at night. Shut up. Jay Shalun didn't expect the surprise to come so soon. Isn't this an opportunity to act bravely? As the owner of the super gene, even if he has not awakened the 3 generations of gods, his words have a mysterious power, and with a loud shout, Lu Chuang directly fell. Chapter 46 The Golden Gun Can't Fall. Oh, missed grass. Where did the wild boy come out? Do you know who I am? Played all over the bar and street, he is called the little bully. Give you 3 seconds to disappear from my eyes, or let you know why the flower is like this Yuhi. Lu Chuang is 33 years old this year, and he is still fooling around on the streets all day long. Love being in there. In fact, his identity has a lot of background. He is one of the 3 major god-building projects of the Super Seminary, the axe to cut through thorns, the god of war of Nuo Xing. War, eternal, the war madman Dukao came to the earth and brought the gene of the god of war to the Lu family, and closely monitored the life trajectory of the super gene owner. Scumbag. The reason why I stand in front of you is because of the justice and kindness in my heart, not for 100 school beauties. Accidentally told the truth. Zhe Xiaolun's appearance is a bit of a Chinese character face, but he is still very intimidating when he is serious. He can only speak at a level that is almost nondescript. Beat him. Let you pretend. His ancestors. ... Before Lu Chuang could speak, several of his younger brothers couldn't help but come up and beat Zhe Xiaolun violently. Hey, you can't hit someone in the face. Zhe Xiaolun went through this kind of battle, lying on the ground in one round, holding his head in his hands and trying to resist the attacks of these little gangsters. When he rolled on the ground, he found that the girl just ran away in the chaos, and he felt a little comforted. It is considered a success of righteousness and courage. According to the instructions of the group owner, is it equal to 100 school flowers? The good times didn't last long, and he soon discovered that these little thugs were very tricky, and they were about to beat him to the point of internal injury. At this time, Lu Chuang also joined in, kicking violently at his vulnerability, with a pair that would kill him. Rhythm. Your uncles. The nameless anger in Zhe Xiaolun's heart burned. The tiger didn't show his power, he really thought I was a sick cat. His arms trembled, and a huge force came, directly throwing away the gangsters who were suppressing him. Just as he looked up, he was hit a few steps back by Lu Chuang's crazy eye punch, his head buzzing. Humming. I will fuck you to death. Enraged, Zhe Xiaolun touched the air conditioner compressor hanging outside the building, and smashed it on Lu Chuang's neck with the strength of his milk. Crack. A crisp sound appeared. Lu Chuang was lying on the ground in a strange posture, and there was no movement at all. Kill, kill, hurry up and call the police. Call the police and arrest him. A younger brother shouted a broken voice, and they bullied the weak on the street. Who would have thought that a college student would be so evil, dismantling the air conditioner compressor with his bare hands? What kind of magical power is this? No, I just pushed him and he fell, it's none of my business. Zhe Xiaolun broke out in a cold sweat. Murder is a serious crime. Even if it is manslaughter, his life will be ruined. Which school beauty would favor a labor prisoner? Besides, how many years have passed since I was released from prison? Are you sure I can still lift a gun? Fuck. The air conditioner is dry and smashed. You just pushed it, ghost letter. I tell you, don't try to run. Lose money, at least 5 million. Yes, it is you who killed our boss and must lose money. Ellipsis. The little bastards are the least affectionate. Just now, they were filled with righteous indignation, and they started asking for money in a blink of an eye. After they have 5 million, it will be enough for them to be happy and unrestrained for a while. I'm going, I just lay down for a while, and you all think I'm dead. Why? You want to rebel. At this moment, an arrogant voice came, and Lu Chuang miraculously stood up. Zhe Xiaolun. Fuck, I was almost cheated by you 5 million. You were playing hooligans, the surveillance was filmed just now, I was just too defensive at most. Fuck your uncle's defense. Lu Chuang let out an angry roar and rushed over to give Zhe Xiaolun a hug, and the streets felt violent vibrations all day long. Neither of these two could do anything. The 3 generations of gods were invincible. Looking at the entire super god universe, there were really not many weapons that could cut them apart. So Zhe Xiaolun's head was inserted into the concrete floor and it was still alive and well. As a result, they were taken into the police station together. Chasing 10 school beauties this year. It's basically like this. The group owner, don't forget to honor the 100 school beauties you said. In fact, I'm not that greedy, and it's enough to have 10 this year at Bye Bye Sue. After all, Zhe Xiaolun entered the game because of his righteousness and courage. After learning the basic situation, the police did not make it difficult for him, but he was also responsible for destroying public property and could not be released for the time being. You are really good enough, and you are still thinking about the school flower. Xiaolun, your super gene has been initially activated, get ready for a wonderful life. Don't think that there is no trouble in the world you live in. Your troubles are much bigger than others. Did you see the big chrysanthemum in the sky of Juxia City? It won't take long, at most a few years, angels and demons will staring at the Earth at the same time. The population of the entire planet has dropped by more than 50%. Can you imagine what kind of disaster it would be? Baisus words are not alarmist. The combat power level of the super god world is very high. For example, the highest record in the Khanate War is that the axe splits the fierce sun. One blow splits a star into two halves. The three major god-building projects have extremely terrifying destructive power in the later stage. Of course, Jie Shaolun and Lu Chuang are still students and gangsters. It takes 1,000 years to become truly powerful. Chasing 10 school beauties this year, Master Baisu. You are joking. Everyone and experts have said. The black hole over Juxia City is the effect of light refraction. Jie Shaolun's voice became less and less confident in the back. These are gossip, and it's almost the same to deceive the bottom people. After all, he is a college student with a higher education and has some knowledge of physics. Those experts haven't cut the leaks yet. Enough, black can be blown into white. As for angels and demons staring at the Earth at the same time, he still doesn't know what these words mean. Jie Shaolun was caught in the game. According to the development of the plot, Dukao will represent the super seminary to collect these warriors with super genes and let them go to work. Humph. These guys keep saying that they are for the benefit of the Earth, but they actually want to make the destroyed Denuo galaxy revive on the Earth, which is really a good plan. Baisu suddenly thought of something about the super seminary. He didn't bother to care about other people, but Jie Shaolun was a member of his adventure team, so he couldn't let it go. Chapter 47 The History of Super Seminary. The background of the Super Seminary is too big. It is the legacy of a shattered cosmic civilization. The two most important technological concepts are miniature wormhole delivery technology and dark energy matter decryption technology. Therefore, the Super Seminary has been established in the Denuo Galaxy civilization, Kamigawa civilization and other known high-tech civilizations. No matter how civilization develops, the closer it gets to the top, the more it will encounter a technological bottleneck, which is the void world. A world that cannot be explained and understood by any existing scientific and technological theories can even subvert all modern and future sciences. But when civilization comes into contact with the void world, it begins to face the ultimate fear. In order to deal with the ultimate fear, Super Seminary plans to create 3 gods of war to face the biggest challenge. The sword that cuts through fear, the power of the Silver River, the light that lights up the darkness, the light of the sun, the axe that cuts through the thorns, the hand of the star. But the place where the Super Seminary exists will eventually attract huge terror. The Dino Galaxy will be destroyed due to the escalating arms race, and the Kamigawa civilization will be swallowed by the ultimate fear. 2 Eternals ago, the Super Seminary settled in Angel Civilization, but it was discovered by the Heavenly Blade King Geisha. Geisha decided to drive the Super Seminary out of the Angel Civilization. As a result, the 3 kings broke up and fought against his sister Tianqi Wang Liangbing on Eternal. Baisu is familiar with the plot of the Super God. His purpose of directing the Super Seminary is more than that simple. It is because of the existence of this force that the Earth is exposed to the civilization of the heavens. After a few years, the heavens will come together and can live. It will be a luxury to come down. The Super Seminary is simply not enough to describe it in 2 words. The Kamigawa civilization can span huge galaxies, and has a very intuitive master for the entire cosmos galaxy tree. It can pass through each other through the highest technology, and has the highest eternal energy system. Energy, as well as many such as antimatter energy, dark matter, dark energy, etc., and open the eternal era of life. Obviously, simple planets and planets can no longer bind such civilizations. Their way of life and way of existence belong to the nebula level. It is known that the universe is too grand, and the Kamigawa civilization, which has just begun to study, suffered a disaster. For a civilization that can jump in space, the destruction of the sun cannot destroy its civilization. There are many ways they can prevent their planet from being destroyed by a supernova, and there are ways to prevent the end of the sun's lifespan. The last way is to leave the dying star. In the end they chose to leave. Because they couldn't choose to change the rules of the universe, the Kamigawa civilization disappeared and only existed in the databases of some ancient civilizations. Butterfly House. All the population has dropped by more than 50%. This kind of disaster is too terrifying. The world where Jay Shaolun lives is terrifying. And Izumi Sagiri. It seems that only the world I live in is a little more normal. We have no ghosts here, and there are no black holes in the sky. For the first time, I feel that being a salted fish cartoonist is also a happy thing. The strongest man in the world. I still don't understand what angels and demons mean. Are they powerful? Baisu happened to have memory data about the super god world, which was organized into documents and sent to the group for everyone to check. Angel civilization, one of the oldest civilizations in the super god universe. Master biological civilization. Holy Geisha is the supreme leader of the angel civilization. Angel civilization is under the system of theocracy, which is the highest system in the current universe. The number of angels is rare. In the City of Angels, which is the central city of the Angel Nebula hanging at the top of the universe, there are only tens of thousands of beautiful angels, Jean. Where there is a knightly civilization, there are angels. They are actually all over the universe, presiding over the divine Geisha's concept of governance of the universe in various civilizations, that is, justice guides the people. The stories of angels are not completely unified, and will be deified, legendary, or even adapted and slandered by various folks. For example, in a certain civilization, angels are considered to be genderless and only messengers of God. Angels are the most evolved civilizations among the main biological civilizations. They have perfect bodies, beautiful faces, white wings that travel through space, and devotion to the love of each civilization under their rule, the guardian of justice, and of course they have become the leaders of the highest order of the universe, that is, the order of justice. Although Geisha has his own concept of justice, each of his subordinate warriors has extraordinary combat power, and, in a sense, guard-level warriors have no justice in their hearts, only justice punishment, and punishment for evil. Hatred. They do not judge right or wrong, they only execute judgment. They have established a righteous order in the universe over 3 Eternals, and their civilizations have developed and evolved over 10 Eternals, but the angelic civilizations are still over 100 Eternals. Today, they no longer rely on the Earth and planets to survive. Their capital is directly in the center of the Angel Nebula. The dazzling rays of light and the energy of the nebula continue to gather, creating a powerful city of angels. Demon civilization. Theoretically speaking, there is no such creature as the devil. The legend is that it was transformed from the fall of an angel. In fact, after Geisha and Liangbing broke apart, Liangbing quickly conquered by virtue of his angel's ability and unparalleled charm. Demon civilization under the rule of angels, and led civilization to rebel against Holy Geisha. They call themselves demons and run amok across the universe. Butterfly House owner. Perfect body proportions, a civilization composed entirely of women. This is too suitable for a person like Jay Shaolun. I'm afraid I'll go crazy with joy. And Izumi Sagiri. That's right. Let the leader of the group catch you an angel. It's worth 10 school flowers. Chasing 10 school beauties this year. Also, I have a good appetite and can eat any type of food. It is rare that Jay Shaolun can maintain such an optimistic attitude in the game. Baisu is busy studying the problem of breaking the dimensional barriers and has no time to joke with the group members. System, is there a way to travel through the dimensional world? Now the members of the adventure team are in trouble, I can't just sit back and ignore them. Baisu took a fancy to Jay Shaolun's potential. Instead of being a thug for the super seminary, it is better to join his own adventure team and start an exciting journey together. Ding! It is detected that the host points are sufficient, and the malfunction can be activated in advance by spending 500 points, which can meet the host's requirements. 500 points. A bit ruthless. System, Help me open the malfunction. By Subit Kiba, the points should be spent on the steel blade. The top war is about to start. He is going to take Jie Xiaolun to gain knowledge, and now Jie Xiaolun is still in the police station. Isn't that delaying things? Chapter 48 Company of Heroes. Supernatural Universe. A fighter jet was flying towards South Blue at supersonic speed, and a stunning figure was sitting in the cockpit, valiantly, and his fiery Yuhi-colored hair added a little exotic aura. Here is Rose. I will descend on the giant gorge in 10 minutes. Please respond from the giant gorge. Rose. Juxia received it. Coordinates 35.69.28, and it's ready to go. Received. Du Qiangwei, the daughter of the war madman Du Cao, has been exposed to aristocratic education since childhood. She has an extremely rare micro-wormhole delivery technology, the essence of which is space capability. 3 Eternals, the super seminary was established in the angel civilization, and Geisha, the king of heavenly blades, got a time-space gene. At this time, Geisha and his younger sister, Apocalypse Wang Liangbing, had a conflict of ideas. Geisha believes that the time and space genes should be equally distributed to each sister. The angel civilization is composed of beautiful female angels, each of whom is a might warrior. Together they ended the era of Tiangong and chased the male angels to the edge of the universe, while Liangbing believes that the power that comes together is the most powerful. Why separate? After the conflict between the two sisters continued to escalate, Liangbing finally couldn't stand it anymore. She stole the space-time gene and brought it to the Dino galaxy for cultivation. After a few Eternals, the gene took root on Earth. This aircraft carrier is called the Giant Gorge. It is the brain of the entire South Blue Fleet. It also has another layer of secret identity. It carries the Super Seminary's God-building project. The cockpit opened automatically, and Qiangwei took a pair of slender legs and walked down the ladder. The soldiers would smile and wave when they saw her. She passed the security check layer by layer and came to the deepest part of the Juxia. This is a command center. Many people have already sat down. She found a place to sit down at will. The moment she entered the door, she keenly found a strange woman, with long blonde hair, a leather upper body, a black short skirt, a pair of flawless long legs exposed in the air. Even if a woman looked will be excited too. A woman who is not inferior to her in appearance or temperament, she can be sure that she has never seen this person since joining the South Blue Fleet. Soon, the woman seemed to be aware of her gaze, and a confident smile appeared on the corner of her mouth, as if she was the Lord of Heaven and Earth, looking down on her own people. This woman's name is Dorina, the Queen of the Blazing Sun Star. It is her ancestor who started the supernova, which destroyed the sun of the Denuo galaxy, causing the galaxy to become extinct in advance. But her mind is quite simple, and she came to Earth to help, not to make trouble. Everyone, we have received a warning from the Empress of Liang. The gluttonous army is approaching the Chiwu galaxy, and the military situation is urgent. I propose to set up a company of heroes, a black armored team that can reach 1 million soldiers. Here is the list of super gene owners on Earth. You can divide the tasks and recruit them as soon as possible. Du Cao didn't talk nonsense, and directly handed the list information to Qiangwei and others. He originally wanted to recuperate on Earth until the glory of the Denuo galaxy was restored. Unfortunately, this plan was understood by the heavens, and the gluttonous army was only the first wave of shocks. That's it. Ding! The malfunction is enabled, and the host, including members of the adventure team, can spend points to buy the required items in the mall. System notifications are sent directly on the public screen of the chat group, and group members can also see and use the items in the mall. The mall is a very powerful function, where you can buy special products and materials of any dimension world, but the system is currently in the growth stage, so most of the materials have not been collected, and you can only buy one basic item. And Izumi Sagiri, mall function. Does it sell drinks? The boss buys a bottle of Coca-Cola. Butterfly house owner. This mall is empty, there is nothing in it. No, there is a product for sale. The strongest man in the world, Boundary Breaker Talisman. Such a domineering name, can it really break through the space and enter other worlds? Ellipsis. The members of the group focused their attention on the shelves in the shopping mall. A piece of golden talisman paper was written with 3 big characters of the Boundary Talisman in small script, which was daunting. And Izumi Sagiri. What are points? People really want a world breaker. There are not so many weird things in my world. It would be nice if I could travel to the world of the big guys in the group. Quote. It's rare that this senior house girl is willing to go out for a walk. After her parents had an accident, she completely closed herself up. If her psychological endurance was a little bit worse, she would probably be suffocated. The strongest man in the world. Points are the rewards that you may get when you perform a battlefield mission, and will be liquidated after the end. For example, this mountaintop war has a lot of point rewards, but unfortunately I can't guarantee your safety with my strength. Finding a big guy in online games can lead them to sweep everything and lie down on the king, but what they experience is not a simple game, and the price of losing is losing their lives. Boundary Breaking Talisman. You can travel through time and space at will to reach the talisman paper in the designated world. The price is 200 points, and the discount period is 30% off for 140 points. Is this thing still discounted? Looking at the promotion like 30% discount, Baisu felt as if he was playing a money-hungry mobile game. At present, he is the only one in the group who has a reserve of points, and there are only a few hundred left in order to catch Jie Shaolun. Baisu, I'll go to the Super God world to catch Jie Shaolun first. You can leave me a message if you have anything. Chasing 10 school beauties this year. Woo _ I'm so moved, boss, that he even used the boundary breaker to save me, and I'll follow you in the future. And Izumi Sagiri. Wow. The group owner is really willing to pay for it. Jie Shaolun was just fighting, and he came out in a few days. Baisu didn't have time to chat with the group friends. He didn't waste time. He directly exchanged the boundary breaking talisman and started using it. Boom. A golden portal appeared in the courtyard, and the void space of the portal revealed a supreme aura, as if to devour everything. The teleportation is about to start. Please prepare the host. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transmission starts. Baisu found that the surrounding time and space were rapidly regressing. Originally, he wanted to see the mystery of space teleportation, but after opening Rinnegan, the magic chakra decreased at a terrifying speed, almost instantly to the end. Fortunately, he closed his eyes in time and stopped making any overstepping actions. The feeling of weightlessness hit. I don't know how long it took, and when he opened his eyes again, he found that he was already in the city, with people coming and going everywhere. When I met him, I just took a candid photo and sent it to my friends. Wearing fancy clothes these days is accepted by the public, and it's no big deal. Chapter 49 Jarvis Basic Equation. I haven't been to the city for a long time. I'm really uncomfortable. The black hole floating in the sky. Sure enough, is this Juxia City? Baisu quickly relaxed and blended into the crowd. The combat power level of the Super God world is very high. When the heavens come together, he is afraid that his combat power will not be able to make any waves. Fortunately, there is still time, and angels and demons should not have descended on the Chiwu galaxy. Baisu, Jie Shaolun, send me a location message. I have arrived in Juxia City. Chasing 10 school beauties this year. Received. The group owner, the location is shared with you. Jie Shaolun was moved for a while in the situation, and he didn't dare to contact his family at this time, for fear that the trouble he had caused would be known to his relatives. And now a man crosses the dimensional barrier to save himself. If it is not for the inappropriate gender, he would like to promise himself. And Izumi Sagiri. Shaolun, don't forget to take a picture for us to see after seeing the group leader. I have a hunch that the group leader must be a handsome guy, hee. Butterfly house owner. Upstairs, wipe your saliva, pay attention to restraint. The strongest man in the world. For men, appearance is not important. What is important is a strong physique. I guess the group leader must be a brave man, full of tendons. And Izumi Sagiri. Father Whitebeard, please stop talking, don't ruin my imagination. When the normal group members were curious about Baisu's appearance, a familiar voice came, full of ridicule. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods, huh? Fast forward to the white-haired group leader. I haven't been online for a long time, and the news is 99+. Are you talking about Gatlin? And Izumi Sagiri. Little Nini, your courage is getting bigger and bigger. The group leader will not be full of tendons, let alone gray hair. Butterfly house owner. Tony, you need to clean up again. I thought you were too soft last time. I didn't expect to dare to provoke the group owner again. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods, ha ha ha. What's wrong with provocation? I announced that the group leader is my source of happiness, Izumi, and now the business matter has been resolved. I'm already Iron Man, and there is no opponent. The group owner, the old man, doesn't like me, so he has the ability to hit me. Ding! The strongest man in the world shared the product illustration, the boundary breaker. PFF'd. In the Marvel world, Tony, who was drinking Yuhi wine on the top floor of Stark Industries, almost choked to death with a sip of wine after seeing the picture book. Is he dazzled? Can you travel to other worlds at will? Impossible. It must be from PS. There is no way to deceive yourself. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods. Don't think that just a photo can scare me, but I'm scared to tell you that I escaped from the hands of terrorists by myself a few days ago and killed an elite squad. I really thought the word Iron Man was a joke. And Izumi Sagiri. I suggest you click on the link next to the product catalog. You didn't climb the stairs to read the historical news when you entered the group. It's normal if you don't know. The mall is a newly opened function, and there is only one product. But it's already amazing. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods. Don't tell me that this thing really has the effect described in the introduction. Can any piece of talisman paper break the space? Don't you need to consume energy? This violates the laws of the physical field. Butterfly house owner. Tell you quietly, the group owner went to Jay Shaolun's world, and Jay Shaolun sent a photo after a while. You can comment. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods, really? Baisu. Hey, isn't this a famous playboy in the Marvel world, Mr. Tony? Why do you have time to come to the chat group this year? In this way, I still have a few boundary-breaking talismans in my hand, and it happens that the battlefield mission will take some time to wait. Why don't we go to your place first? At this moment, the group owner suddenly appeared, as if a stone was thrown on the calm lake, causing a huge wave, and Tony forced a smile that was uglier than crying. Are you kidding me? As for spanning space, is it a hunt for hundreds of millions of kilometers? Not really. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods. Master Group Leader, I was wrong, you should be a fart and let go of the little ones. The world I live in is too small for a true god like you to stand on. Baisu, don't tell me. As the richest man in the Marvel world, do you look down on us poor people from different dimensions? If you keep being humble like this, I'm going to be angry. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods. No. That's not what I meant. The lord of the group is a guest. I can't ask for it, really. Ding. With the body of a mortal, the gods of the shoulders sent an exclusive Yuhi bag, limited to Baisu. Ding. With the body of a mortal, the gods of the shoulders sent an exclusive Yuhi bag, limited to Baisu. ... Tony took out a white handkerchief from an Armani suit worth $30,000 and wiped the cold sweat on his forehead. If the group owner really comes, his good days are probably coming to an end. So far, no one has seen the group. What does the master really look like? But after their calculations, the group master's lowest combat power is also at the level of Whitebeard. He sent Baisu several exclusive Yuhi bags in one breath, which not only contained his own collections, but also a set of basic Jarvis artificial intelligence equations, which were his most precious things besides mechas. This is really a bloodbath. This kid has a bit of a conscience. Jarvis basic formula. Baisu opened a yuhi bag. An illusory figure immediately appeared in front of him. This is the artificial intelligence developed by Tony. He played the role of Tony's assistant in the middle and later stages, and made great contributions. Hello Master, Jarvis is at your service. Detected that you do not have a fire protection system and started scanning the surrounding internet. Jarvis is the technological crystallization of the Marvel world, leading the Earth in the super god world for many years. After all, this place has just passed the pre-nuclear era, and the ability to control information is really not good. But it didn't take long for it to discover a heavily encrypted place above South Blue. That was the Giant Gorge, the base camp of General Dukao, carrying the secret of the God-building project. Master, have you started to crack the password of the God creation project? The cracking time is 1 week, and there is a danger of being discovered. If there is an unexpected situation, the cracking time may be extended. As a top-level artificial intelligence, Jarvis can swim like a duck in the internet, but the technology level of the Dino galaxy where Dukao was located is also good, otherwise how could it be hidden on the Earth until now? Chungyang Lianyang GH for the 20 yuan reward, as well as a monthly pass, thank you big guy. Chapter 50 Super War Sniper. You don't need to crack it. Can you see if this money can be transferred to Jay Xiaolun's personal account? I mean the one that can be used. Baisu shook his head. He just received a system message, reminding himself that he had a sum of 500 points in his account, because he changed a bit of the plot of the Marvel world. He has never been to the Marvel world. If he changed it, he told Tony the Iron Man about the future. Could it be that Tony changed his way of solving the problem, and this time he intuitively solved the hidden danger before his partners attacked? This reward mechanism is a bit interesting. After the malfunction is turned on, anyone with a discerning eye can see the preciousness of points. The system seems to be intentionally guiding itself to change the plot of the main world and other worlds. It's easy to say, changing the plot is just a matter of hand, and there is an example in front of you, which is just right for experimenting. Yes, the economics knowledge I have is at a professional level, and the Stark Industries business has honed my skills. Jarvis nodded. He is an artificial intelligence, and has access to the internet in this world. With his ability to do this kind of thing is as simple as finding something. Soon, Jay Xiaolun received a huge sum of $5 million, and this was just an exclusive yuhi bag for Tony Stark. Juxia Municipal Public Security Bureau. The college student who came here the day before yesterday, is he still honest? He has a lot of strength. Even the air compressor was torn off in a fight. I heard that South Blue personally asked about this. The sound of high heels rhythmically rang out on the corridor, and the one who spoke was a female police officer, whose voice was like a yellow warbler, numb to the bone. The goddess is 174 centimeters tall, with a handsome face, black long and straight, princess cut, with a little starlight shining in her starry eyes, with a bit of coldness. The upper body is a blue uniform, the lower body wears a black short skirt, and the slender legs are like white jade. It's so perfect. Her name is Chi Rin, and she is not a vase character. She won the first prize in the national sniper competition when she was in the police academy, and now she is the first sharpshooter and chief police flower of the city bureau. You are. How did this person get in? She suddenly stopped, and the jade hand subconsciously placed the gun. With her ability, she could kill a dangerous enemy at any time, but the young man on the opposite side made her feel a little uneasy. Of hesitation. Sure enough, it has something to do with South Blue. I guess they are coming soon. It's hard to come, and it's not appropriate not to say hello to them. Baisu was still wearing the clothes of the Uchiha clan, leaning against the wall of the aisle, facing Chi Rin's mysterious issue, completely ignoring the other party's actions. What the hell are you talking about? If you don't explain your origins, I'm going to do it. Chi Rin can easily sense the dangerous atmosphere. She feels that Baisu has an extremely terrifying aura, and she has not concealed it at all. I'm here to take my friends out of here. You don't have to interfere in the affairs here, just leave. Yuhi light flashed in Bai Su's right eye, and a female friend beside Chi-Rin nodded and left here obediently without saying a word. This kind of ability is like the vampire in the TV series coercing orders to ordinary human beings. Human mental power is too weak to resist, and can only be at the mercy of others. The blood wheel eyes of the Uchiha family are even better than those of vampires. What the hell did you do? Hurry up and grab your hands or I'll shoot. Chi-Rin immediately became nervous when she saw this scene. One look made her colleague go crazy. She instinctively couldn't look into each other's eyes, so she observed Bai Su's actions from the corner of her eye and cooperated with her powerful shooting talent. If there is a moving bullet, it will go out of the chamber. Don't be nervous, I'm just more interested in you. Now I'm free and want to talk to someone. Bai Su shrugged indifferently. The reason why Chi-Rin has such a powerful shooting talent is related to the super gene she carries. She has the super gene of Kamigawa civilization in her body, and has a special built-in P3 positioning function, which belongs to the Kamigawa civilization. Super soldier, the only super war sniper. You are arrogant, come with me. Chi-Rin has been provoked like this. She immediately brought Bai Su to an interrogation room. This young man is too evil. She must break the casserole and ask to the end. Bang! The file in his hand was smashed on the table, and the greatness in front of the murderer trembled. Bai Su slowly opened her eyes. The indifferent look inside made her breathing stagnate, but after just a second, the other party's eyes changed. With a wretched aura, wantonly in her eyes walked the upper body. It's been half an hour. You made me wait for a long time. He didn't rush to find Jie Shaolun. It was too easy to take Jie Shaolun away. The important thing was to warn the Super Seminary not to rob him. The Super Seminary represents the interests of the ancient civilizations in the Denuo galaxy that have disappeared, and as a former Earthman, he does not want this azure planet to become the battlefield of the gods. If there is a chance, he will not only take over the power of the Silver River and other super warriors, he will also drive the Super Seminary out of the earth. Chi-Rin. Name. Bai Su. Bai Su, how about you? K-Rin. Age. Bai Su. 20 years old. I know you are older than me, but I don't mind. To be honest, I like your royal sister style. Chi-Rin. Let me remind you, put away your little scruples. You have sat in your position a lot of slick people, but they didn't end well. I don't want this either. Mainly when I see you. Kiba hurts a bit, and I can't help but want to say more. Bai Su said a little aggrieved. Why? When Chi-Rin heard this sentence, because her thoughts were interrupted, her face showed a cute look again, and asked subconsciously. Bai Su, because you look too sweet. Crack. The strength of the pen penetrated the paper, and Yu's hand gradually exerted force, and the ballpoint pen was almost broken. Chi-Rin, do you know the consequences of provoking me? I have warned you many times. Woman, this is not a provocation. You are not who you are, let alone who I am. The world is about to fall into chaos and terror. Do you have the power to devote yourself to it and lead people to going? Bai Su's expression became serious. Super war snipers are a very precious weapon. If their weapons are sharp enough, they can even kill gods. In the plot, although Chi-Rin doesn't have the power to kill gods, she can kill a battleship with one blow, playing an irreplaceable role in air combat in the universe. Chapter 51 Warn. After a long time, it turned out to be a genius. Do you know that breaking into the police station without permission is a serious crime? Now it is a materialistic society, how can you still exist? Chi-Rin frowned. What this young man said was simply out of place. The big chrysanthemum over Juxia City has been appearing for a while, and there are many people on the internet who support Doom and say that this is an exotic place. Proof that the gods are ready to destroy the people of the earth. The major countries must unite, otherwise human beings will be displaced and lose their lives and status. Is that how you view this conversation? Chi-Rin, how much do you know about yourself? How much do you know about the future? Yuhi flashed in Bai Su's eyes. The three black tomo spun rapidly. Chi-Rin was instantly pulled into demonic illusion. She saw a terrifying war break out on this planet. They encountered unprecedented resistance, angels, devil, Death Carl, fallen Queen Morgana. What did you do to me? It seemed like an immersive dream. After the scene in front of him was restored, Chi-Rin couldn't calm down for a long time. Everything just now was too real. Will this really happen in the future? Think about it. 2 friends are here, I'll pick them up. Baisu happened to be resting enough in the interrogation room. He sensed 2 special auras coming into the corridor, and the opponent's strength probably reached the level of Chunin. ... We're going to war with aliens, aren't we? The future savior is just a DIOC college student. I'm really desperate for this world. Chiangwei is walking in the corridor leading to the interrogation room. Her long hair of red Yuhi color is falling like a waterfall. The scale of the murderer is a little less than Chi-Rin, but still very impressive. Wearing Yuhi's white plaid shirt, the upturned corners of the mouth are very attractive and look unique. Holding a stack of documents in her hand, she kept shaking her head and sighing, only to see a few words written on the cover. The power of the Silver River, Jie Shaolun. This person's information seems too bland. On the surface, he is just an ordinary college student, and he can't see anything outstanding. Time is king, space is supreme. Chiangwei's ability is not as simple as it seems. Her super gene comes from one of the 3 angel kings in ancient times, Apocalypse King Liangbing. Chiangwei, Jie Shaolun is not as simple as the information shows. He is the power of the Silver River, one of the 3 major god-building projects of the Super Seminary. General Du has never told you about these things, probably because he is afraid that you will be under pressure. The Super Seminary originated from the ancient civilization that has disappeared. There are 3 major projects of god-building: the sword that cuts through fear, the power of the Silver River, the light that illuminates the darkness, the light of the sun, the axe that cuts through thorns, the hand of Nuoxing. Quote, the hand of Nuoxing once split the sun star in half with an axe, and the light of the sun detonated the stars of the Denuo galaxy, destroying the entire galaxy. Part of Jie Shaolun's genes even came from a distant angel civilization. General Dukao means that Jie Shaolun must be on our side, so that we can get together the 3 major god-building projects, so our work is very important. Aji is from the Dino galaxy like Dukao. They have been planning on this planet for a long time, and they are currently facing unprecedented challenges. The awakening of the original super gene was scheduled for 1,000 years. In view of the current situation, they had to disrupt the plan and act in advance. It's all messed up, angels and devils. I'm really going crazy. I thought my father was just a workaholic. I didn't expect him to keep such a big secret from me, and he really didn't take his daughter as his own people. Chiangwei turned over Byakugan and couldn't help but complain about her father. Dukao has been very protective of her since she was a child, and never told her about the Dino galaxy. Although she has the opportunity to carry micro-wormholes, I always thought it was something I learned by myself. In fact, her learning talent is not high, but the super gene is inherited, and she has capital that cannot be replaced by anyone. Time and space rose. Hello. After Baisu flirted with the murderous policewoman, she came here to wait. Sure enough, the real person behind the scenes couldn't hold it any longer. According to the development of the original plot, Jie Shaolun was fooled by this Aji to the Shangbing Company, saying that it was to save mankind and save the world. In fact, the condition that really moved him was that if he joined the Shangbing Company, he could get a room with Chiangwei. Bedroom opportunity. Don't be afraid, I have no ill will towards you. I just want to tell you one thing. Let Dukao get rid of this idea. The power of the Silver River is my friend, please don't harass him again in the future. Baisu chuckled, and his figure disappeared in an instant. When he reappeared, he was already in front of Aji. A hand was casually placed on his shoulder, and an invisible aura emanated, as if it had the weight of a mountain. Fine beads of sweat appeared on his forehead, and with his strength, he couldn't make any response. Rose. Let's go. Aji swallowed and said these words with difficulty. Let him go. Chiangwei frowned, and immediately launched an attack on Bai Su. She jumped high, and then appeared on top of Bai Su's head. Her slender thighs attacked like scissors, and she could easily break the head of her prey. What kind of trick are you doing? Lure the enemy deep. Please, don't rush into close combat if you don't know the opponent's combat strength. Bai Su also felt a little helpless. This beautiful girl doesn't take herself as an outsider. If it weren't for his position, he would want the other party to make a move and experience the beauty of the other party's move. As a member of the Uchiha family, fighting technique is not a strong point according to reason, but fighting a warrior who has initially awakened super genes is more than enough. Boom! He came to the top of Chiangwei with a flash, and grabbed the opponent's face and hit the wall with one hand. A violent vibration sounded. If he hadn't set up the demonic illusion method in the corridor, it would have been enough to reveal his whereabouts. Cough cough. Who are you? If you don't tell the truth, I'll be rude to you. Chiangwei stood up stubbornly. She has been a very strong child since she was a child. She clearly understands that Su's strength surpasses her by so much, but she still won't give up. Her super gene has not yet grown up, and the speed is too slow. Although she has the space-time gene, it feels like it is slowing down, and the reaction speed is at most similar to Chunin. For this kind of character, Bai Su has killed more than 7,000 people on the battlefield. Chapter 52 Hidden Tasks. You're welcome. Miss, you just wanted to twist my head off with your thighs. Why are you saying this now? Are people in the Denuo system used to salute before soldiers? It's about my identity. I'm just a passerby, but I don't want to see life on this planet, so please move out of the super seminary. The Earth doesn't need your protection, you are the source of the disaster. Bai Su's speech was thorny, and it was the first time that this beautiful woman, Chiangwei, had been treated with such an attitude. Pay attention to the way you speak. What the Dino Galaxy, what the source of the trouble? My father and I are both soldiers of this country. You are not qualified to speak to me in this tone. Chiangwei let out a coquettish cry, looking full of heroic spirit. If Applegia hadn't hugged her waist desperately, she would have rushed up to be abused again. Dukao, native of Promise Star, nicknamed War Madman, he launched the Denuo War 11,000 years ago, and commanded the Nuo Star War God Axe to smash the Rising Sun Star. You should at least know that the Earth is currently in the pre-nuclear age, and the average lifespan is only about 77 years old. Which human being can live for 11,000 years? Bai Su leisurely recounted Dukao's life story, while Aji's back was wet with cold sweat. One eternal is too long to erase any trace of history. There are people in the universe who know Akatsuki Dukao's life and deeds, but they are basically old antiques who have lived for several eternals, and their identities are unpredictable. Your Excellency, I will definitely bring it here for the General. It is really our fault to disturb Your Excellency's rest today. Aji's attitude became extremely respectful. He couldn't perceive the opponent's strength at all, so he could only plan for the worst. Chiangwei has the blood of time and space, and is the biological daughter of General Du, so there must be no problem. Okay, I hope he can think about it carefully, and he can save a bit of face when he moves out. If I do it myself, it may be rude. Bai Su waved his hand and motioned for the two to leave. If Super God is his main world, he will be the first to drive out Super Seminary. If it is not my race, his heart will be different. Dukao looks very ordinary, but if he is really an ordinary person, how could he have won the title of War Madman? In front of Eternal, even the holy geisha of the angelic civilization has heard of his name. In the original plot, Dukao was headshot by a sniper from a demon civilization with God Killer No. 1. It was a bit too casual to die, but think about it carefully, who was behind the Battle of the Giant Gorge? Sun Civilization, Angel Civilization, Demon Civilization. The first-class forces in the universe focused their attention on South Blue, which finally caused the death of Dukao. If he was given 1,000 years to develop, what would the future be like? The three major god-building projects have cultivated strong men at the level of the main gods. At that time, the axe will slash the blazing sun, and the sword will slash the city of angels. Dukao will stand on the South Blue alone and give orders to the world, don't dare to obey. It's solved, you can go to see Jie Xiaolun's poor boy, but there is still a Connaught Star War god Lu Chuang in the bureau, do you want to collect it together? Bai Su clapped his hands and was about to walk to Jie Xiaolun's location when he suddenly heard two system beeps. Ding! Since you slightly changed the plot of the Super God World, you will be rewarded with 500 points. Ding! You have triggered a hidden mission, please choose one of them to complete. An inch of mountains and rivers and an inch of blood. Join the army of heroes, resist the invasion of the gluttonous army and the devil, and change the ending of the sinking of the giant gorge. 5,000 bonus points. Dino's ambitions. Drive the super seminary out of the earth, completely destroy Dukao's ambition to revive the Dino galaxy, and reward 10,000 points. 5 years in a limited time, 30,000 points will be deducted if you fail. I'll go, does this trigger a hidden mission? If you fail, 30,000 points will be deducted. Is this the rhythm of deducting the points into a negative number? Originally, he wasn't going to get involved in the super divine universe, but the reward points are so sweet. I take a gamble, isn't it a super seminary? I don't believe that I can't grow to this level in 5 years. Bai Su bit Kiba, he directly chose Danuo's ambition branch, and asked him to join the Shangbing company and serve as Dukao's subordinate, which he really couldn't do. Crack. After the Iron Gate was opened, it was the independent detention center where Jie Xiaolun stayed. To be honest, the environment here was too boring, and there was no one to talk to. Jie Xiaolun, you can go out now, I have already completed the formalities for you, let's go out and talk. After Bai Su said this, she found that Jie Xiaolun was sitting motionless on the chair, looking a little dumbfounded. At the same time, a message was received in his chat group. Chasing 10 school beauties this year. Boss, come and take me out, is that person you? Bai Su. Nonsense. Except for the owner of this group, who else will come to the bureau to scoop you up, get out of here for me. Chasing 10 school beauties this year. Cough cough. Sell high-definition photos of the group owner, 10 points per piece, no bullying, you can owe the points first, and then pay them back later. Butterfly house owner. I want one, and the points will be transferred to you after the task is over. And Izumi Sagiri, the handsome photo of the group owner, give me one. I will definitely give you back when I earn points in the future. The strongest man in the world, I want one too. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods, +1. ... Are you going to die? Dare to do business with Lao Su. Bai Su felt a little speechless. He couldn't see that Jie Xiaolun had a business acumen. No matter how small a mosquito's legs were, it was still meat. Nowadays, there are not many ways for group members to obtain points, unless there are a large number of tasks to sit on, but the requirements of battlefield tasks are often very high, and the danger is extremely high. Hey, boss, I'm so poor that I can't stand it anymore. You see, I can't even buy a world breaker talisman, so I have to think about the future. Besides, I promised the big guys in the group before I saw you again. We found your photo. Jie Xiaolun scratched his head. This is his first time doing business with points. He didn't expect it to be easy to do. The big guys in the group really don't take points seriously. 10 points to see the group leader, Fang Yan, it sounds like very good deal. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods, no way. Why is he more handsome than me? He looks like he is only in his 20s. Shouldn't he be an old man with white hair? Ding! With the body of a mortal, he was banned from speaking for 1 hour on par with a god. The strongest man in the world, ha ha ha. Butterfly house owner, ha ha ha. And Izumi Sagiri, ha ha ha. ... Chapter 53 Angel Exclusive. Is he the power of the Silver River you speak of? I don't see anything special. Of course, there is still some brute force. Qiren personally accompanied Bai Su to get Zhe Xiaolun out. In fact, even if Bai Su didn't come, Zhe Xiaolun could leave immediately. After all, Zhe Xiaolun was just an ordinary college student who made trouble because of his courageous actions. 3 generations of gods are almost invincible. Do you have a Superman movie in this world? It's the one wearing Yuhi's pants, a man of steel, with similar abilities. Bai Su and Qiren are standing together, but they seem to have a tacit understanding. He did not use Rinnegan to control Qiren. The two discussed various possibilities in the future. Can people of insight in this world resist the attack of foreign forces? I'm afraid it will be difficult. Even if the male soldiers are formed and the defensive capabilities of the black armor are continuously upgraded, it is almost impossible to change the ending of the sinking of the giant gorge. There is 1,000 years of growth time in the middle, the enemy will not give them such a big gap. Sister Police Flower, Sister Police Flower. Let me out. Why can that bastard get out, and I'm still locked here? I already know the mistake. I must be a good person when I go out. Sister Jinghua, please take care of me. At this moment, a begging voice came from next door. Looking through the small window, Lu Shuangjun could be seen crying with frustration. This is the detention center, but there is no nice guy. Being locked up for a day is even more uncomfortable than killing him. That night, the idea was too bad, and he was about to succeed. Suddenly, a stunned young man appeared, and he was on a par with him. Be honest, you're a habitual offender. If you dare to cry, believe it or not, I'll lock you up for half a month. The male police officer on the side suddenly made a sound. When it was a miracle, Lu Chuang really stopped making a sound. It seems that it is impossible to talk to such a person. Nuoxing God of War, this look is really lacking. Bai Su was also a little interested in Lu Chuang, but when he really saw this gangster, his only interest was gone. Lu Chuang's rogue habit did not change at all. He could cultivate a Silver River power. As for Lu Chuang, let's talk about it later. I will send you here, Bai Su, if your prophecy comes true. I hope to see you on the battlefield. Qiren shook hands with Bai Su and turned back to the office building. As an elite police officer, she believes that the master will be in her hands in the future. Even if there is an alien invasion, humans will definitely survive. As expected of the group owner, you got the police flower done so quickly. I have heard about the deeds of Officer Qiren before. It is said that her business ability is among the best in the bureau. Zhe Xiaolun is not flattering this time, but sincerely admires him. As a straight man, it seems that he has never been able to communicate with beautiful women in this way. The calm temperament of Bai Su is what he desires most. You bastard, you really have to think about your 100 school beauties at all times. You should have a good understanding of the effects brought by the 3 generations of divine bodies. Follow me, you are definitely better than those from South Blue. A very practical function, which can greatly shorten a person's cultivation time. Mangekyo Sharingan crossed the barrier and reached the level of Rinnegan. It was a lot better, but the cost was quite large, and the group members could not afford it at first. And Izumi Sagiri, I'll be darling, it takes 1000 points to activate the Tao Enlightenment function once, it's a steal. The time is random from 1 to 12 hours, so if you draw 1 hour, wouldn't it be a big loss? Let the Africans play. Butterfly House Owner, the function that can adjust the flow rate of time is really a ghostly ability. We can only get points by joining the battlefield mission. There are currently 3 people in the adventure team, right? The group leader, Whitebeard and Zhe Xiaolun. Know when I'll be eligible for a battle at the top of the line. The World of Gods, South Blue. What did you say? The power of the Silver River was targeted by an ancient existence in the universe. Could it be the City of Angels? Dukao has a face with a Chinese character, and he has been in a high position for a long time. Taishan collapsed in front of him and his color did not change, but he could hear nervousness in his tone. The power of the Silver River is a god-building project in cooperation with the angelic civilization. At that time, it was the era of the three kings. Geisha, the king of Tianqi, Liangbing, the king of Tianqi, Hexi, the king of Tianji, and the three sisters used the power of the angel legion to drive the male angels to the edge of the universe zone. But since then, the city of angels has become a place composed entirely of women. Considering the future happiness of the sisters, Geisha decided to create a perfect male angel who not only has strong fighting ability, but also has a gentle and kind heart forever. This plan has been put on hold until now, and it was finally realized in Jie Xiaolun's body. Could it be that the supreme being far away from the angelic civilization suddenly remembered this god-building project and came directly to the earth to take away the property belonging to the city of angels? General Du, it shouldn't be the city of angels who came here. The person here is a man, and he doesn't mean to hurt us. Jie Xiaolun is still in Juxia City and has not left the earth. Aji has long mobilized the monitoring force of Juxia City to monitor the movement of the power of the Silver River 24 hours a day, but things were beyond his expectations. The power of the Silver River did not leave, but by Su, there is no trace of the other party. It's been an eventful summer. Except for the power of the Silver River, you must find all the other people as soon as possible. Only when these people initially grow up can the defense line of the earth be guaranteed. Du Cao was very anxious in his heart, but it is useless to be anxious now. The existence who created the super seminary is not on earth. They have no help in this battle and can only win by themselves. In fact, he also knows that the earth is in the stage of pre-nuclear civilization, and many key technologies have not been broken through. The most important thing is the communication technology. For example, the demon civilization can quietly check all their locations and confidential information, as long as the means are secret enough. You can even directly decrypt the god-building project and get the core secrets of the three major god-building projects. In a war, once the information is suppressed to such an extent, it is almost impossible to win, because the enemy master has all his whereabouts and is ahead of himself in every step, and the heroic soldiers will be as helpless as blind men and elephants when they arrive. Chapter 54 $5 million annual salary. $5 million. Brother Bai. This is too exaggerated. Jie Xiaolun checked the silver credit card account and felt dizzy. He had never seen so much money in his life. What can $5 million do? For a young man, it can be regarded as the realization of financial freedom. In the future, even if he does not participate in any job, the annual interest alone is enough for him to live a decent life. Is it enough for you to chase 100 schoolgirls? Follow me in the future, take a long-term view. Men should conquer the stars and the sea. Can a small city of Juxia trap you? This amount of money will be my annual salary. After a while, I will take you to hunt angels and demons. Bai Su smiled and patted Jie Xiaolun on the shoulder. It's cool to pretend to be X with other people's money. Tony deserves to be Marvel's playboy and the world's richest man. Any Yuhi bag will start at $5 million, and the value of Jarvis' basic equations can't be measured in money. What he said just now was not a joke. Angel civilization and demon civilization will soon come to this world. Jie Xiaolun, as the power of the Silver River and the future Master God, will inevitably deal with these civilizations. Brother Bai, you will be my eldest brother in the future, and I, Jie Xiaolun, will definitely follow the lead of Brother Bai, go through fire and water, and do whatever it takes. Jie Xiaolun has a simple and honest character, which is an excellent character inherited from his ancestors. The Jie family has been in the army for generations, but only participates in the military tasks of protecting the country and the nation, and has never been an official. His father, a veteran, has participated in many events that shook the world's battle. He didn't even know his own genes and mission, but he only remembered the family motto, a family of military and martial arts, be loyal to the country, respect virtue, and never obey Zheng. The power of the Silver River is the third generation of super warriors of Kamigawa. It has a void engine, and the divine body is indestructible. The armor-piercing bullet of the God Killer #1 can kill Du Cao, but if it hits him, it will scratch his skin at most. but it will also arouse his fighting spirit and fierce counterattack. If you want to really kill him, you need at least a silver blade level weapon, which is the masterpiece of Tianji King Hexi, who has studied several Eternals. Bringing Jie Xiaolun to the top of the war this time is to ensure that nothing goes wrong. The adventure team has just been established. It is when there is a shortage of people. The power of the pirate world is not enough to kill him. His super genes have given him an almost eternal life. Exterminate. Jarvis, you stayed in the super god universe, helped me build a venture capital fund, fought against angel investment, cannibalized their shares. The next time you come to this world, it's time to meet the angel. He plans to keep Jarvis, an artificial intelligence, in the supernatural world. Jarvis has his own mind. It is a kind of creature living in the internet that can do many unexpected things, otherwise it is impossible to keep up with Tony's thinking and become Tony's great helper. Yes, my master. Jarvis fully understands what Bai Su means. In fact, the angels came to the Earth a long time ago. At that time, the planet was still in a state of melee, but the keen angels have already begun to sow the seeds of faith. Today, the angel fund is set up by them. The puppet controls more than 60% of the planet with faith, and the other South Blue Fleet and the Super Seminary account for 30%, which is enough to prove the strength of the angel civilization. Even if none of the angels are permanently stationed on Earth, the Super Seminary respects them like gods, and repeatedly tolerates them, daring not to compete for the territory of the angel genes. Bai Su, okay, I'll go back first. We will meet again when the battlefield mission starts. Jie Xiaolun, see you at the top of the war. Brother Bai. The gate of time and space opened again, and after a period of weightlessness, Bai Su opened his eyes again and found that he had returned to the familiar Konoha. The people around him greeted him warmly. Recently, his reputation has been pushed to the top. To surpass Namikaze Minato. Master Bai Su, I have finally found you. The 4th Hokage selection meeting is about to be held. Why can't the whole Konoha find you? At this moment, a surprised voice came. It turned out to be Uchiha Tekka and the others. During this time, there was a lot of rumors that the Uchiha clan would intervene in the election of the 4th generation of Hokage. The Uchiha clan people were naturally happy. Whether they were hawks or moderates, they all hoped to see Bai Su ascend to the top of the Hokage position. This is right. Affirmation of the strong leadership of the Uchiha family. After the election, Tekka and the others suddenly couldn't get in touch with Bai Su. Even Uchiha Makoto didn't know where Bai Su was going, which made them anxious, thinking that Bai Su wanted to retreat and didn't want to participate in the election of the 4th generation of Hokage. I had a new understanding of ninjutsu by accident, so I went out to retreat for a day. I didn't expect such an important announcement from Konoha. Is there an election in 2 days? Don't worry, I'll do my best. Bai Su nodded. Sure enough, you need to be careful when performing tasks. After crossing into other worlds, you will temporarily lose contact with the main world of Hokage. It would be too troublesome if the Ninja World War broke out. After all, many people have super shadow. His strength can destroy the entire Konoha shinobi village in a short period of time. There are people he cherishes in this world, and there is no room for mistakes. Time passed quickly, and in a blink of an eye, it was the appointed time. Representatives of Konoha's famous family all came and sat upright in the Hokage Hall. Most of their eyes were on the 2 young people, Bai Su and Namikaze Minato. I declare that the election of the 4th generation of Hokage has officially begun. The 3rd generation Hokage of the hidden village of Konoha, the country of fire, Sarutobi Hiruzen and a group of elders personally presided over the meeting. As a direct disciple of the 1st generation Hokage and the 2nd generation Hokage, he also cultivated the Sannin of the Megashin world. Respected Hokage who actually held the highest power in the country of fire for the longest time in the history of the ninja world. He is also the longest-lived Hokage. He created the heyday of Konoha Hidden Village, and unfortunately sacrificed. If it hadn't been for such an unlucky apprentice, Kishimoto would probably still be alive when he finished painting. Who do you think will win this time and become the real 4th generation Hokage? Baisu. He is Uchiha's patriarch, and his strength cannot be underestimated. Cut. Speed is everything. The name of the yellow flash is not for nothing. When the Kumogakur army saw him, they pissed their pants and ran away without even hitting. In the audience, many people couldn't help but start to discuss. Baisu and Namikaze Minato's approval rate is even in the same level. Chapter 55 I Bleed for Konoha. Next, invite the 2 young people to speak. After the speeches, we will officially start voting. Sarutobi Hiruzen cleared his throat. At present, everything is under his control. He has suppressed Shimura Danzo for decades by himself. This skill is not impossible. Although Shimura Danzo recently invested a lot of manpower and material resources in Baisu, and went to visit the elders one by one to solicit votes for Baisu, in fact, this meeting was just a passing game. In the end, Baisu would lose the election with a slight disadvantage. The 4th Hokage will definitely be Namikaze Minato with the will of fire. Everyone, where the leaves are flying, the fire is still alive. After I become 4 generations of Hokage, I will improve the living environment of Konoha residents, repair the relationship with neighboring countries, make Konoha's strength to a new level, and create a better future. Namikaze Minato did not follow the advice of his wife, Uzumaki Kushina, and finally came to run for the election. Of course, Uzumaki Kushina was not so cruel. This woman had long Yuhi-colored hair and sat in the first row to cheer for her husband. He is like a sun today, dispelling the darkness of Konoha. Although his speech is too idealistic, he does describe a bright and promising future for everyone. The world has experienced too much war and trauma, and everyone cannot be at peace. Sitting together angrily and living together. If someone else said something like this, they would have been blasted down long ago, wouldn't it be a fool? Whoever has the biggest fist in this world is the truth. The 1st generation Hokage Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara, the people of the world who were influenced by love. What is the king's way? That is to tell you before hitting you, and run over you if you don't agree. Uchiha Madara releases Mangekyo Sharingan when he has nothing to do, and makes cage-level powerhouses in other big countries kneel at every turn. That's how Konoha was built. But these words came from Namikaze Minato's mouth. Although everyone felt a little unbelievable, their hearts were somewhat shaken. Namikaze Minato doesn't even have bloodstain boundaries, but he was successfully promoted to a cage-level powerhouse in his 20s. Maybe this genius can do things that even the 1st Hokage did not succeed. Next, Baisu. Hearing the discussion below the lobby, a faint smile crossed the corners of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth. I'm afraid this time it has stabilized. Shimura Danzo, the old fox, wants to fight with himself. I'm afraid it's 100 years too early. Shimura Danzo is the darkness of the ninja world. The reason why he retains the root system is to use them and act as a black hand at critical moments to solve some problems that cannot be solved by normal means. In this way, the pot has become Shimura Danzo's back, and the reputation and the respect of the world are all his. This means of taking advantage of the fisherman must be a very smart person. Minato's speech was brilliant. A world without struggle, without conflict, is nothing short of heaven. Who wouldn't love it? But I want to disturb everyone's sweet dreams here. Let's rewind the time back to the time when Konoha was established. Did the 1st Hokage win the war by reasoning? Do you listen to us? I don't think so. Ever since the death of the original Hokage, enemy nations have repeatedly offended the Konoha frontier, waiting like bloodthirsty wolves. It's been too long since Konoha had a true leader, one who could lead Konoha back to the top. Now, the only choice before you is who killed 3 generations of Raikage and annihilated an army of 10,000 Iwagakure at the same time. I bleed for Konoha. Baisu slowly stretched out his right hand, and the extremely dazzling thunder light wrapped around it, turning it into a thunder and lightning armor, and the terrifying chakra fluctuation caused an uproar in the Hokage Hall. The armor of thunder and lightning. Isn't that the famous stunt of the 3rd generation Raikage? God, I always thought it was a rumor that someone deliberately released, but I didn't expect that the third-generation Hokage really killed him. Did the man who claimed to dare to fight with the tailed beast with his bare hands died in his hands? This is a record that no Yellow Flash has ever achieved, okay. Even if he is a member of the Uchiha clan, I still have to vote for him, for that sentence. Words, bring Konoha back to the top. Fuck peace, heaven or hell, even if I were to re-elect 10,000 times, I would still choose strength. Uchiha clan, let the shadows of other great powers kneel before you once again. ... Baisa's strength shocked the audience. The 3 generations of Hokage and the army of 10,000 Iwagakure disappeared at the same time. This is a mystery in the ninja war. The answer lies in the armor of lightning on Baisa's body. The shadow is the face of a village. When the 3 generations of Hokage died, the army of 10,000 Iwagakure was destroyed at the same time. This directly changed the direction of the war in the ninja world. In this way, Namikaze Minato's record is a bit watery. A total of 40 people were wiped out, and the combat power was the highest. Jonin, how do you compare with others? Now, start counting. Generation Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's tone became a little heavier, and the last thing he wanted to see appeared. Baisa's reputation reached an unprecedented level, and he almost became another first-generation Hokage. He also played against the third-generation Hokage, even if he knew all of Akatsuki Konoha's ninjutsu, known as ninjutsu professor, but let him kill 3 generations of Hokage, the probability is basically 0. Did the third generation of Hokage really die in his hands? This guy, why is he hiding until now? Shimura Danzo vaguely felt that something was wrong, and he became more and more uneasy about why the person he supported gained an advantage. Since he transplanted Mokuten, wood-style cells and Sharingan, his confidence in himself has swelled so much that even 3 generations of Hokage will not be in his eyes, but the problem is that Baeksu can do it too, proving the young man. People are not under their control. From now on, Uchiha is no longer a double-edged sword, but an arlong that will devour him at any time. He feels that he has dug a hole for himself, and now he has nowhere to buy regret medicine. Namikaze Minato, 3,094 votes. Baisu, 673 votes. I declare that the successor of the 4th generation of Hokage is Baisu. Sarutobi Hiruzen announced the news in a heavy tone, with a very uncomfortable expression. Before the conference, he had already agreed with the major families. He clearly agreed to choose Namikaze Minato. A rising star with great strength and a promising future comes up. What will he do in the future? Go to the back mountain to support the elderly. What a thrilling campaign. Husband, don't be discouraged, you are the best in my eyes. Uzumaki Kushina is probably the happiest laugh among the 3 generations, and the look of puffing his mouth and blowing is particularly cute. Chapter 56 New Members. Being able to kill 3 generations of Hokage and an army of 10,000 Iwagakure alone. I ask myself that I can't do it, but Baisa's concept is very radical. Will it make Konoha fall into darkness? Namikaze Minato looked surprisingly calm. He insisted on his ideals, and at the same time admitted that Baisu was the winner, but he didn't quite agree with the other party's governance policy. Minato, pay attention to your words. The 4th generation of Lord Hokage was elected by the majority. If you are dissatisfied with his governance policy, you are an enemy of the majority. Uzumaki Kushina shook his head at Minato. Why should he be so obsessed? Is the position of Hokage really that attractive? She thinks that Jiraiya, the lecherous fairy, looks very frivolous on the surface, but one thing she admires very much is that she sees the current situation very thoroughly. As a direct disciple of the 3rd generation of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, Jiraiya is well aware of the complexity of the Konoha Uzumaki Center, so he left Konoha directly to travel to other countries, and was basically absent from the last ninja war. Minato's Hokage thinking is so deep that he has fallen into it, and there is nothing inherently wrong with demanding himself to high standards, but if you can't get to that position in your life, do you want to live a life that binds you all the time? For but not getting is a great suffering in the world. For example, Shimura Danzo has longed for the position of Hokage all his life, and finally reduced to the appearance of being neither a ghost nor a ghost. Don't worry, there are people who I attach great importance to and won't make stupid moves. Let's go back first. A sunny smile appeared on Namikaze Minado's face, as if he was taking success or failure very lightly. He took Uzumaki Kushina's hand and walked out under everyone's attention. At the same time, Baisu also received a series of system reminders. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the mainline branch task, becoming the 4th generation Hokage, and getting the reward, the full version of Sage Mode. Sage Mode. A special chakra mode that creates Sage Art Chakra by absorbing a certain amount of natural energy, which can greatly enhance the power of your own ninjutsu, fighting technique and demonic illusion. After using Sage Mode, the body will undergo certain changes, and only the Sage Mode with eyeshadow is complete. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the mainline branch task, 1000 bonus points. Ding! Congratulations to the host for reaching the hidden conditions, the Avenue Furnace function is turned on. Avenue Furnace. With the power of the all-heavenly Tao as a blessing for an item, it can be the master's practice or weapon, etc. There is a chance to make it upgrade to the rank. Consume 1000 points time, and you will get a free chance to use it for the first time. Pit Father. What is the probability of 1000 points? You have to mark it out. Baisu complained for a while, the new functions of the system are too expensive. This reminded him of some kind of card-drawing mobile game in the previous life. In order to draw an SSR, it is a month's salary. The key function has not yet clearly marked the probability. He is really afraid of losing money and losing money. The result is 0 improvement. It's going to collapse. Just when he was about to study the new Avenue Furnace function, he suddenly got the last prompt. Ding! If the group is active and meets the hidden conditions, the host will get a new invitation opportunity. The number of people is 1 to 5 at random. Can you add people to the chat group? Thank you so much for these gatlings. A small group of 6 people in total has reached 99 plus every hour without watching it. I didn't expect the water group to be really useful. Now that the battlefield mission is about to start, the adventure team is really short of people. The system's requirements for him are not just as simple as becoming the big boss of the ninja world. Compared with the entire dimension, the Hokage world is only a little bigger. If you want to get the follow-up reward points, leading the adventure team to get through the battlefield mission is an extremely important way. He didn't even think about it, he just pressed the invite button. Ding! Mrs. Guo joins the group chat. Ding! Uncle Ying joins the group chat. Ding! The Spirit of Time joins the group chat. Ding! Jin Yichuan joins the group chat. Ding! Medusa joins the group chat. Ellipsis. Once again, 5 members of the group were invited, and this lot can be regarded as the Emperor of Europe. However, Baisu felt a bit of a headache when he saw the names of the group members. As an old 2-dimensional person, he could not guess the identities of the group members. Mrs. Guo. This is from id. Thousands of Mrs. Guo, which one are you? Uncle Ying. Sounds a little familiar. Could it be? The 1980s, there was a special meteor streaking across the film circle, creating a classic image in the minds of a generation. One character eyebrows, cold humor, good face, agile skills, even drawing talismans and chanting incantations, wearing a yellow Tai Chi robe and 8 trigram scarves. A peach wood sword, a few yellow paper talismans, pick the tip of the sword, stomp 1 foot, and the shot is authentic catching ghosts. If it is really him, he is indeed worthy of the name Uncle Ying, and it is not too much to call Uncle Ying. The Spirit of Time, couldn't it be that one? Baisu felt a bit of a stomachache. In the world of dating battle, there is a character named Tokisaki Kurumi, also known as the Time Elf because of his ability about time. His adventure team welcomes strong new members, but the problem is that Kurumi is a sick girl. He had a hunch that Tokisaki Kurumi would not be willing to be a good baby, and he didn't know what would happen in the future. Jin Yichuan. The name is too common. As an old two-dimensional person, I don't have any impression in my mind. Could it be because the maximum number of invitees was exploded twice in a row, and the system randomly found 2 people to make up the number? Gone. The last one, Medusa, isn't this a character in Western mythology? A banshee in Greek mythology, one of the 3 Gorgon banshees, was originally immortal, and was defiled by the sea god in the temple because of her stunning beauty, but this temple belonged to the goddess of wisdom, Athena, who bullied the soft and feared the hard. Vented his anger on this woman, and cursed her into a Gorgon. Just as Baisu was guessing the identity of the new group members, the chat group that had been quiet for 3 minutes boiled again because of 5 messages in a row. Butterfly House Owner. Moses. Welcome to the newcomers. The strongest man in the world, Gulaulala. Hello friends from another world, with your participation, the world of the adventure team will be stronger. And Izumi Sagiri, the newcomer is here. Report your height, weight, measurements, and then give the group leader a gorgeous dance. The group leader is the best. Chasing 10 school beauties this year. Welcome to the newcomer +1. Please pay attention to the girls. I am 20 years old, and I have no target yet, very easy to chase. Ellipsis. The welcome words of these people were normal. When Baisu saw Tony's words, he almost spit out a mouthful of tea. With the body of a mortal, standing shoulder to shoulder with gods, rookie run. The group leader is gay. Chapter 57. Madam, I have read your book. The key is that Tony Stark also matched a Shiba Inu's classic expression after he finished speaking, and I don't know where he got it. Ding. With the body of a mortal, he was banned from speaking for 5 minutes on par with gods. Baisu. Cough cough. I'm sorry, just now that group member was hit hard on the head and often said nonsense. Welcome everyone to join the chat group. Tony Stark. I remember you. You must go to Marvel World when you have time. As for the other side, Tony Stark is writhing in the music with a glass of wine. Today's death is successful, the group owner is still my source of happiness Izumi. Cheers. He is testing the motion capture function of a new generation of steel armor. The previous generation of armor is too bulky. After all, it is a shoddy thing made in a cave. There are still many things that can be improved. He is sitting on the position of the world's richest man and can be mobilized. Financial and material resources cannot be imagined by ordinary people. Now that he wants to stack all these resources on a battle armor, it is no wonder that he can compete with gods in the later stage. Some time ago, he held a press conference and publicly acknowledged his identity as Iron Man. Apart from scientific research, his main business is to incarnate Iron Man to defend the justice of the Marvel world. An experience of being held captive by a terrorist really changed a lot for Tony. One of the most famous playboys in the world, hasn't been out to a party for a long time. Of course, he also has an ambition to become the most deadly member of the chat group. He takes pleasure in making fun of the group owner. He walks on the edge of life and death every day. The shadow of the peach blossoms is flying over the divine sword. The tide of the blue sea presses the jade flute. All martial arts heroes, please. At this moment, a gentle voice reached the ears of each member. The sound was like an aureole, like a breeze blowing on the face, which made people imagine. Boom. Tony, who was conducting a motion capture experiment, fell directly to the ground, and the parts fell to the ground. In one sentence, the playboy broke the defense, which shows that this woman must be a stunning character. Peach Blossom Island. Wow Sao. Huang Rong. Mrs. Guo, I have read your book. Baisu has Rinnegan, strong mental power, and was not affected, but when he heard the first few words, his pupils could not help shrinking. Famous, like thunder. Although Huang Rong is a character in martial arts novels, there are too many adaptations about her. What city broke Xiangyang postscript? etc. And Izumi Sagiri. Wow. Sister, your voice is so good. If you have points to buy the breaker, I really want to meet you. I'm an artist and can help you paint. The world of vultures. A woman was rowing a boat with long hair in a shawl. She was dressed in white, with a gold ribbon tied around her hair. The snow was reflected, and she was even more radiant. However, at the age of 20, her skin is more beautiful than snow, and her beauty is incomparable. There is no such communication tool as a chat group in this world, and she was very curious, and quickly replied, "Okay. Little sister, although I don't know where you are, if you have a chance, you must come to Peach Blossom Island. I'll treat you to dinner. Steamed chicken with lotus petals." Quote. And Izumi Sagiri. Sounds delicious, I'm drooling. Ah, when will there be 100 points? Butterfly House Owner. It's 200 points. Don't you want to go back to Peach Blossom Island as a guest? And Izumi Sagiri. Oh my god. 200 points. It's really hard for me to be a bastard who doesn't know martial arts. The Spirit of Time. Allah, Allah. Something interesting happened, and someone's voice could sound directly in my mind. In a city in another world, a girl in a school uniform was walking down the street. Her long black hair was tied into 2 braids and fell comfortably on her shoulders. Her slender limbs seemed to be broken with just a little force. The skirt is a bit short. Black transparent stockings are paired with black British-style leather boots. The waterfall-like bangs cover the left half of the amazingly beautiful face, and the right eye as deep as a black hole is left on the other side. As long as the man around her meets her gaze, she will be instantly captured. Tokasaki Kurumi. No one would have thought that this charming and beautiful girl would regard humans as food, and she only knew that there were more than 10,000 people killed by her, which can be said to be the most evil spirit. She can drag human beings into her shadow and devour them without leaving a trace. If the devoured ones are included, the number of victims will probably increase. Originally, she was just an ordinary human lady, but one day she was attacked by an unknown monster after school, and was rescued by Mio Mio. Mio claimed to be a righteous partner and the elves were evil. She hoped that Kurumi would help her to destroy the elves together. Kurumi believed in Mio, so Mio gave Kurumi a spiritual crystal, making Kurumi the spirit of time and getting the angel of time. Open black lens bracket Zafkiel close black lens bracket. After she became an elf, she has been helping Mio to destroy countless elves, until she eliminated the former flame elf, and found that the flame elf was her friend. It turns out that Mio has been deceiving her all the time. The elves she eliminated were basically human, and her hands were stained with the blood of her friends. After learning the truth, Kurumi was already crazy. Time is brought back to the first moment when I met Chonggong Mio, no matter what the cost must be to change all this. Uncle Ying. Everyone uses Chinli sound transmission. They should all be masters of Taoism, right? I don't know what to do in Renjajun. Renjajun. A middle-aged man dressed in light-colored linen with a single eyebrow suddenly stopped and looked at the surrounding environment carefully, but found no trace of anyone. His name is Lin Zhengying, and he is from the Maoshan lineage. After going down the mountain, he has always made it his duty to punish evil and promote good. This time he came out for the purpose of moving the grave of the Squire Ren Fa. Uncle Ying, you'll be there if you go further ahead. Why did you stop suddenly? The old man Ren Fa was a well-known local rich man, but he did not dare to neglect Uncle Ying. Seeing that the other party had stopped, he hurriedly smiled and asked. Oh, it's all right. This place is beautiful, it's really a good place, let's just keep going. Lin Zhengying smiled and pretended that nothing happened, but in fact, most of his mind sank into the chat group. Ren Fa thought that Uncle Ying was really complimenting himself, and he felt arrogant in his heart. He knew that Uncle Ying was a Taoist priest with real skills, and he had seen a lot of knowledge and was not comparable to ordinary people. Ha ha ha, I'm not boasting, this piece of land chosen by my late father is the best cave in a radius of 100 miles. Although it can't compare to some legendary addresses, it's still hard to find in 10 years. It's a pity that Ren is not a business material, which led to the fall of the family. Today's matter is also the entrustment of my late father. Uncle Ying, you have to worry about it. Chapter 58 Tokasaki Kurumi, you sound delicious. Ow, I forgot to give you popular science. Our chat group crosses the dimensional barriers, which means that we are all people from different worlds. Master Baisu is our group leader. At present, the adventure team is very short of talents. See the details. Group announcements can be made, and the rewards are generous. Also, Lord Baisu's past and future all night long. If you want to know, you can explain the mystery. With Izumi Sagiri and patiently introduced the origin of the chat group to everyone. The new group members felt incredible when they learned that they were communicating with people from another world. It just so happens that there is a copy of the memory uploaded by Baisu in the group file. Although it is an edited version of a few minutes, it is enough to spy on the peak combat power of the pirate world. One foot can smash the ocean, and one punch can shatter the sky. Such a terrifying practice has never been found in my world. Huang Rong Bingshe is smart and is the most amazing woman in the world of eagle shooting. After reading it, she immediately knew Akatsuki's gap. She moved mountains and reclaimed the sea. This is simply the power of a god. At that time, her mother injured her body in order to write the second volume of the Juin Junjing, and finally died in dystocia. But the Juin Junjing in the martial arts world is only ordinary martial arts. 1. Uncle Ying, your martial arts have reached the level of a land fairy. I have only heard about this kind of existence from the ancestors, but I have never seen a real person. The spirit of time, Allah. The destructive power is very powerful. It can be compared with the space shock that I caused, but I am more interested in the master of the group. Baisu. It sounds very good. The way you eat. Come. Baisu sighed in his heart. Sure enough, this girl is not a fuel-efficient lamp. Tokasaki Kurumi needs to swallow a lot of time in order to continue to return to the power of the past. Of course, the effect of swallowing a master is much stronger than that of a mortal. Kurumi is not only not shocked after watching the copy arrived, but instead regarded themselves as prey. The strongest man in the world. Jiu la. The group owner has met an opponent, which seems to be more difficult than Tony. Butterfly house owner. Little devil, do you feed on human beings? Sister, I hate creatures like you, be careful with my poisonous owl. At times spirit. Chasing 10 school beauties this year. I also think this girl's words are a bit wrong. Thinking of the special species in the world where Butterfly Ninja lives, I suddenly feel a little. Jie Shaolun didn't know why, but suddenly shuddered. Although he had initially awakened the super gene, he didn't know how to use it. He could be a little punk, but he really couldn't overcome the psychological barrier in fighting against the supernatural creatures. The group owner isn't eating it. I don't know if I understand it wrong. Is that what it means? And Izumi Sagiri is a book manga artist. The brain hole is indeed big enough. And I immediately think of that aspect. The plot outline is already there, and a whole series can be produced. The spirit of time, Allah. Don't be nervous. I'm just curious about the group owner. Can anyone really predict the future? I really want to meet him. Cough. Okay, everyone be quiet. I can tell you about the future when I have time, but it is limited. In addition, the battlefield mission is about to start. Please sign up actively. In the dimensional chat group, danger and opportunity coexist. Quote. Tokasaki Kurumi, this sickly cute girl, can't be resisted as soon as it comes up. Baisu made an excuse to go offline to participate in the Hokage celebration. The adventure team is a little short of manpower. He has a budget of at least 5 people. 4th generation Hokage, Sama, congratulations to you. Konoha has not had such a grand event for many years. You have achieved everything that Uchiha Madara did not do in those days. You can be called the first person in Uchiha. At the banquet, a young woman walked over in a dress, and the cool dress made Baisu's eyes shine. This kind of low and fierce design can't be worn by ordinary women. It has to be a huge evil to hold it up, proud of the audience. The lady was joking. In fact, I have the same wish as Minato, just for the good of Konoha. In addition, I have to mention that the lady is wearing a beautiful dress tonight. Baisu didn't expect that Uzumaki Kushina would not come home to comfort Namikaze Minato. He changed the suit and even came to the banquet. He glanced at the location of his wife Uchiha Makoto without leaving a trace. Fortunately, Makoto took the child and was chatting with people about family affairs, and he didn't pay attention at all to this scene. What are you nervous about? Lord Hokage for 4 generations, but you're afraid of your wife. Wouldn't it weaken your reputation if you speak out? Actually, I came here to. What a smart woman Uzumaki Kushina is. After noticing Baisu's reaction, she took a step forward and pretended to inadvertently bent over to adjust the corners of her clothes. The majestic scenery was placed directly in front of Baisu's eyes. Bleeding. Madam, please respect yourself. Baisu took a step back without leaving a trace, sipping his drink lightly. Is this woman crazy? I am someone who wants to be famous anyway, and some jonin around him looked at him with strange eyes. If this news is true, how will he behave in the future? PFF'd. Sometimes I envy Makoto. You are from a famous family, and your starting point is much higher. Unlike me and Minato, who have no family and no school, you have to get up from the bottom little by little. 4th generation, I don't know if you still remember the deal you mentioned to me. Is someone trying to get QB, 9 tails, in me? Who is it? Uzumaki Kushina is sweet and charming. She is the kind of woman who is very attractive. The longer you are in contact with her, the easier it is to fall into it. To be honest, Minato, the water wind of the year, really had a vision, and he started to choose a wife for himself since the ninja school. He was stunned to pull a violent Yuhi hair girl into the right track. Kushina didn't intend to seduce Baisu, but just used this gesture to hide her unease. Since she was pregnant, she often had the same nightmare. The sharp claws penetrated her body directly, and the blood flowed down and pooled into a small stream. Every time she wakes up from her sleep and sees that her husband is not around, she is running around to run for the 4th generation of Hokage. God knows how helpless she was at that time. I don't know why, at this time, she always thinks of Baisu's Sharingan. QB 9 tails once cared about her. Baisu's pupil power is a bit weird. This person seems to know some truth, just she has nothing to restrain her. Mom, come here quickly, it's Aunt Kushina. Father is here too. Tong Yan Wuji. At this moment, a familiar voice sounded, and Baisu instantly felt a little numb in his scalp. Chapter 59 A Promise. Itachi is at an active age now. After harvesting a plate of meatballs, he looked around the banquet scene board, and suddenly found the trace of his father, so he happily pulled his mother over. This time it was a bit of a big game. Uzumaki Kushina got up quickly and mentioned his dress without leaving a trace, but the design style of this dress is like this, how could it be changed in an instant? Hi, Kushina, I'm so glad you can come here. I know that today's things are very helpless, but don't affect our friendship. You are my only friend. Uchiha Makoto is a virtuous wife. She completely trusts Baisu and doesn't think about it at all. On the contrary, she is a little worried that Baisu's competition with Namikaze Minato will eventually hurt the harmony between the two families. No, Minato is a little boyish, but I'm here. Tonight I made a special trip to congratulate Uni. This is my heart, you must accept it. Uzumaki Kushina instantly changed a warm expression. The moment she was stopped just now, she had thought of a dozen reasons, but none of them would be of use. This is fine, no matter how perfect a lie is, there will still be flaws. Often a lie needs to be covered up by more lies, which will easily lead to problems if it goes on for a long time. Gosh, $1 million. This gift is too expensive, it will take a long time for Jonin to earn that much. Uchiha Makoto felt the heavy weight in his hand and immediately declined. Although she has been out of the front line for a long time, she is a Jonin who has undergone rigorous training after all. Even Namikaze Minato and his wife want to earn $1 million commission is not an easy task. Kushina, as a QB 9 tails Jinchuriki column can't leave the village without Hokage's orders, and Minato has nothing to do with it. What are you talking about? This is just my opinion. In the future, everyone will live under the protection of the fourth generation of purpose, and there will be more time to trouble you. Uzumaki Kushina's eyes twitched, her talking eyes blinked. She probably bit the word, protection, a little harder, and the meaning was obvious. She doesn't know why she put her hope on Baisu, maybe because this man is too mysterious, and he can't see through it at all. Besides, who else could she count on? An existence that can control QB, Ninetales, is staring at him, and even if the third generation makes a shot, it may not be able to successfully block it, and Baisu happens to have the record of killing the third generation Raikage and the 10,000 Iwagakure army. Don't worry ma'am, you and Minato are the treasures of Konoha village. As the fourth generation of Hokage, I will take good care of everything in this village. This is my promise. Baisu naturally understood. He originally planned to save the Minato couple, not only for Konoha, but also for changing the plot of the main world. You can also get a lot of bonus points. It happens that his main task is to become the big boss of the ninja world, and the history of this world will be written by him in the future. With Master Baisu's words, I can have a sweet dream tonight, Makoto. I'm a little worried that Minato is at home, so I'll retire first. Uzumaki Kushina heaved a sigh of relief. This was the limit of what she could do, and when the crisis appeared, as long as Baisuken came to the rescue, the nightmare should not come true. Okay, I'll send it to you. Uchiha Makoto took Kushina's hand, and the two walked to the door chatting and laughing. At night, when the two of them were turning the clouds over the rain, Makoto suddenly pressed Baisu under him, leaned down, and whispered in his ear, "Hey. I found a problem. ... What's the problem? Why are you bringing it up at this time? What's the problem?" Baisu almost vomited blood because of the flash. He thought that this matter should be over tonight, but he was so shocked that no matter how strong his heart was, he couldn't bear it. Kushina's hands are shaking. She seems to be afraid of something. This violent Yuhi-haired girl even has moments of fear, but her own strength is cage level, so what is there to be afraid of? It turns out that Makoto discovered this. This woman's observational power is too keen. Baisu, I don't know what to be afraid of. I only know that if Kushina knew that you called her a violent Yuhi-haired girl behind her back, she would definitely teach you what to be afraid of. If you dare to talk nonsense, believe it or not I can't get you out of bed. Uchiha Makoto stretched out a green onion finger, like a kitten whose tail was caught, fierce and cute. Madam, it seems necessary to let you know how good I am. Come on, who is afraid of who? ... The next day, Baisu temporarily decided to cancel the morning exercise this morning. He served as Hokage for 4 generations. Sarutobi Hiruzen showed great restraint, a look of letting go of power and not doing anything, retreating behind the scenes to observe his movements, but Shimura Danzo, an old fox, came to him 3 times a day, for fear that others would not know about them. Relation. The 4th generation of Lord Hokage, as a part of Anbu, can't always hide in the ground. This is too unfair to those who sacrificed for the will of fire. I decided to turn them to the bright side and expand some of the staff. The old god Shimura Danzo was drinking tea on the ground. Although he called the 4th generation Hokage, there was no respect in his words. He originally wanted to support a puppet. Who knows that Baisu has hidden strength, which is no trivial matter. Makes sense. Makes sense. How many people to expand? Baisu held back his anger. Did this old bastard take the residence of the Uchiha family as his home? He wanted to sleep in late today, and he came to disturb himself again and again. It's really embarrassing for you. The 500 places are tentatively set. If there are suitable ones, we can continue to fill them. I will select a part to join the Hokage's guards. It is definitely the elite of the elite. Shimura Danzo's one-eyed flickering sly gaze, he pressed step by step, just to make Baisu fulfill his promise, and give him the power immediately. When his plan is over, he will become the actual ruler of Konoha. At that time, Baisu, the 4th generation Hokage, will be useless. Maybe there will be an accident during a certain mission. Before dying, he will make a will and specify he is the next Hokage. Your uncles. 500 places, how many people are there in the entire Anbu? I also have to arrange a bodyguard for Lao Su. Have you gone out to read the almanac? 500. Good, good. Baisu breathed a sigh of relief, looked up at the sky in the distance. He needed to restrain his killing intent, or he was really afraid that if he got up, he would hack the old boy directly. Chapter 60 Dead Old Fox. I'll give you 100 places first. This is Hokage's maximum authority. The other 400 people need to be approved by the Elder Council. You give me half a month, and I will try my best to get them. How? Baisu originally wanted to deal with Shimura Danzo later, but who knew that this old fox kept hitting the muzzle of the gun, looking like he didn't know if he was alive or dead, and exhausted his patience. Stabilize the opponent first, and find an opportunity to do it directly. If the 4th generation is bothered, then I won't bother. Shimura Danzo got what he wanted, and got up and retire. As a veteran of Konoha, he may have some respect for the 3rd generation in his heart. As for the 4th generation, it's just his puppet. Master Baisu. After the guests left, Uchiha Tekka and others came in. As the core members of the Uchiha family, they were arrogant by nature and never looked down on the existence of roots that lived in the shadows all day long. At present, the distance between the patriarch and Shimura Danzo is too ambiguous, and their eyes are full of worry. Give me an appointment with Mr. Sandemu, I want to meet him. Baisu walked out with a cold face. He wanted to make Shimura Danzo disappear from this world. Before that, he was going to say hello to Sarutobi Hiruzen, which is also a kind of respect for the senior. Uchiha Tekka. Sandai-sama is sick. I heard that he will be closed for the next few months to thank you. Forget it, I'll find him myself. Baisu waved his hand and left here in a flash. The old fox probably knew something, so he just hid and observed it secretly. Lao Su is very busy, you keep your ass at this juncture. 10 minutes later. 3rd generation of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen was smoking a dry cigarette in the living room, staring at the map of the ninja world, when Yu Guang suddenly noticed a young figure on the sofa next to him. Cough. Why didn't you know to knock on the door when you came in? Are young people like this now? As an old smoker, it was the first time that Sarutobi Hiruzen had been choked like this. He didn't expect Baisu to go straight in and break into his house. Speaking of which, how did this kid get in? He admitted that he was a little older, but he couldn't even touch the shadow of others, right? Could it be that he hasn't been on the battlefield for too long, and his sense of smell has deteriorated? Baisu, I heard that the 3rd generation of eyes was sick, and came in without a notification in a hurry. I am really embarrassed. The 3rd generation of adults coughed so badly. Could it be that he contracted a tuberculosis? Dude, this mouth is poisonous. Sandemu turned to Byakugan angrily when he heard this sentence. Didn't he let you close the door? It is necessary to curse an old man with such vicious words. In fact, he is still very entangled in his heart. He has always recognized Namikaze Minado's type of who is simple and easy to control. It was purely an accident that Baisu came to the top, and all his plans were disrupted at once. In order to protect himself, he didn't do anything for the time being, and huddled up to observe Baisu's movements first. He didn't expect the other party's sudden visit. Okay, we don't have to go around talking to people in this position. You were supposed to be busy in the Hokage office, but now you suddenly appear with me. Is there anything you want to discuss with me? Sarutobi Hiruzen made a cup of tea himself, and then took a puff of cigarettes. No matter how carefully he observed the young man in front of him, he couldn't see through him. It might be true that Baisu killed the 3rd generation of Raikage, but the news was too shocking. Some senior officials, including him, are skeptical. Baisu, it's not a big deal. I want to kill Shimura Danzo, let me tell you in advance. What did you say? Sarutobi Hiruzen was choked again, tears were coming out, and after coughing, he threw the dry tobacco aside. Shimura Danzo is a high-level member of Konoha, and his command is huge. If something happens, it will affect the current situation. Besides, Danzo is a cage-level fighting force, how can he die so easily? You're now in the position of 4 generations of Hokage, and you can't take things for granted. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head into a rattle. If he was just suppressing Shimura Danzo, he might pretend he didn't know, but killing it is completely different. Taking a step back, Konoha executives shouldn't fight infighting. Can't take it for granted. Do you want to use Shimura Danzo to carry the darkness of Konoha like you? I'm the Hokage of Konoha, the 3rd generation, as I said, just to let you know. Baisu brutally interrupted Sarutobi Hiruzen's words. At the same time, 3 black tomo appeared in his eyes, connected together to become a blade-like mark. The terrifying pressure enveloped every inch of the room, making Sarutobi Hiruzen his pupils narrowed, but he did not dare to act rashly. Those eyes are... Sarutobi Hiruzen was so shocked that he didn't even know he got up from the sofa. Can't be wrong, Mangekyo Sharingan. That time, Uchiha Madara relied on this kind of pupil technique to overturn Konoha. Even Senju Hashirama, the ninja of the ninja world, was exhausted of his vitality. After the war, he died within a few years. Generation Hokage personally told him to pay attention to guarding against the people of the Uchiha family. He didn't expect that after just a generation, the position of Hokage was taken by Uchiha Beizu, and he was the one who owned the legendary Mangekyo Sharingan. No wonder you can kill 3 generations of Raikage. With this kind of ghostly pupil power, you can indeed do this kind of thing. Sarutobi Hiruzen fell silent. This secret is too appalling. The Uchiha family has not seen anyone who can awaken Mangekyo Sharingan for a long time. Uchiha Obito is well hidden, and often uses time and space ninjutsu to enter and exit Konoha without being discovered. He really regrets it now. He should have thought of other ways to prevent Baisu from becoming Hokage. People who have Mangekyo Sharingan cannot be controlled, and this kind of power can make people arrogant and even drag the user into a doomsday situation. My pupil technique is not a secret. Shimura Danzo forced me to promise him to transfer his root to the bright side today and give him 500 places. You should understand what that means. Here is the information I collected about Shimura Danzo. He has done too many evils, too many to list. If he doesn't get rid of it as soon as possible, it will bring disaster to Konoha. 3 generations, I have brought you the complete news. As for the way to go, you can choose by yourself. Baisu didn't talk nonsense, threw a piece of evidence collected by Uchiha Shisui on Sarutobi Hiruzen's table, and walked straight out. When he returns from the world of One Piece, King of Pirates, Shimura Danzo will die.